Okay, have I got all my ducks in a row? Oh, my ducks. My ducks are so primed. Alright, controller in hand. We're about to do this. I'll bet some people who've been watching already have enough channel points to redeem. So I'm gonna have to start paying a lot more attention to the stream manager. All right, the hour is rolled over. Future Pale Voyager, this is where you want to start the VOD for YouTube, and then you'll promptly forget and just upload the whole video anyway, including this disclaimer for yourself. And you know, double thumbs up, buddy. Maybe tell some people. Do 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 do. And one more before the loading screen finishes. Okay, we're back in the Panopticon. Let's see what you have to say. Chaotic94, cool, sounds fun. This is the first stream I've caught of yours. I used to watch some of your old videos like Robotnik Sings and the DMC4 playthrough. Well, I would like to be the first to apologize to you that those exist. And extend my gratitude that you've looked past those things and have decided to come to the stream. So thank you very much. Yeah, so here we are at the Panopticon. We got to find Dylan. There's a guy who's been staring at a fridge for 10 whole days now. We've just left him hanging, and there's nothing we can really do about it because we got to find Dylan. Like, it's important that we find him. Dylan is he's the linchkey, the linchpin, you know, he's David Lynch, and we need less of this. So let's see, what do we need to do? We need to help Fridge Guy after helping Dylan Guy. That's number 1 on the list. Let me know about the audio levels too. If I'm being, like, outshot, like if the shooting is louder than my voice, please tell me. I'd love to fix it. It's an eternal concern for me. Always worried about it. Nope. Not trying to have any of that. Levels are good? Alright, awesome. That's what I love to hear. That is fantastic news. Can we just shoot him into a death? Yeah, we did. We did it. Okay, so we've left Fridge Guy for 10 whole days. He didn't get to spend the holidays with his family. He's been staring at a fridge. It's a tragedy, but we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it soon. I think I'm yelling into the mic, so let me turn down my levels so I don't feel like I have to scream over the game audio that's in my ear. There we go. Okay, I think that's better. Now, I also wanted to explore more of the Panopticon. Did he get holiday pay? I don't know. The whole Bureau of Control is in lockdown. You know, so he's just been sitting there, and I feel pretty guilty about it. Now we don't really need this elevator anymore because, you know, we can fly, kind of. We can kind of fly. It's not like full flight, but it's flight light. I was going to explore the entirety of the Panopticon first, but I think we should probably deal with Dylan first, then Fridge Guy, and then go on a merry little jaunt through the Panopticon. Because with this new ability of you know, pseudo flight, there's a lot more of the Panopticon. Hell, there's a lot more of the Federal Bureau of Control that we can now explore, including areas we've already been to. I don't know how much of that I'm actually going to do, but there will be some. There will be some. Deal with Dylan equals boss fight, I'm betting. The Kitty, you might be right. You might just be right. Yep, see, he's still here. He's just... you know? He's got concerns. Alright, so we've got the control point here. That's fine. In fact, you know what? Let's just activate it. Right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, like, keep track of everything I said I was going to do on the last stream, trying to remember all that stuff. I have some like mental notes, but my mind is also just a field of stalagmites and stalactites. So we're almost full on these. I may as well pare these down while I'm thinking about stuff. I'm gonna have to start paring these down more realistically. We'll do that later. I take it all back. What I did do was get some new weapon types. So we got spin, and we got charge. And we're gonna play with these guns for a little bit, but only a little bit. Let's see, we'll put reload speed on charge. That seems like it's pretty good to do. And we'll increase headshot damage on spin. So I believe this is this spin? No, this is charge. So, like, you know, charge is pretty cool. It has a long wind-up. Guns with a long wind-up are not my favorite. I like the quick guns. So this is spin. It's basically a submachine gun, but, you know, what it makes up for in the fastness, which I just said I like, it severely lacks in the power and the accuracy. You kind of just rat-a-tat all over the place. It's, you know, you get quite a spread on it. Which I don't really want. Where am I going here? Why is this open? Was this where we got the TV? I'm very confused. This is where we got the TV. I'm almost certain this is where we got it. So, when EMT Paramedic, if EMT Paramedic comes back into the stream, I have to thank him for dropping some bits on my head. Because he did in the Iconoclast stream, and I didn't acknowledge it because I'm very bad at multitasking. I saw that he was there, I didn't see what he had said, and so he spent money on me for nothing. Really quickly, before I started the stream up, I think that's a swan. Really quickly before I started the stream up, I'm new to this. It's okay. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. The same gun, changing into different types is a cool idea. I can't think of another game that's done that. I feel like there probably has been. Actually, there has been. Shadow of the Damned. Shadows of the Damned. It's a Suda51 game, very much in the vein of Resident Evil 4. Yeah, that game, you have a gun that changes the type of gun it is depending on how you modify it. Yeah, taste my big boner. Exactly. You got it. You know what's up. You know about Garcia. So this is that's a swan. That's a haunted swan boat, and we're just not going to learn anything about it. I believe I actually streamed that game, didn't I? I think I did. Back in the day, I streamed it on hard difficulty, and at the time I didn't realize that there was a bug with the final boss that makes it so you can't actually defeat it, and you have to do some workaround, which I looked it up while streaming. Which is unprecedented for me, I know, to find the solution. That is, that's what do they call that fabric? Mylar? Is this a Mylar? It's a Mylar balloon. Who knows what the problem with that one is? Who can even say? It could be just about anything, really. Over here we have what appears to be a water cooler. Cool. Haunted water cooler. Always a treat. They're made extra creepy by how mundane they are. That's a crowbar. Probably the most terrifying one here. What the hell does the crowbar do? You know?
Dylan.
Oh boy. So close. Is he through here? P6 cell. Yeah, he was. He was director candidate P6. That's what they said about him, if you'll recall. There's some more stuff going on out here, but I think we should probably chase villain. I meant Dylan. Freudian slip. Prise your soul out of your body, dear God. No! Hello? Oh, there we go, okay. It opened by itself. I didn't need to, Your soul is replaced with French fries. The humanity! Wow, that's not what glass sounds like, but okay. Apparently we have xylophone glass in this office, which is pretty great. I'd buy it. I think I mentioned before.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Welcome back to video games.
Jesse.
All right, then. Yeah, I have played Bugsnax. I have played it. I considered streaming that game, too. It is very strange. It is very body horror. It is a lot more mature than its cloyingly immature outside would have you believe. It's a good time, and it's not terribly long, either. All good qualities for a game I would stream. How do I get over there? I probably have to do like a loop. Right. So, I added some channel point rewards. Things are going to start moving on this channel. I have a camera now. You'll be able to see my face. I'm still a little bit shy, so I haven't set it up this time, but it exists. It's not going to be the greatest quality ever, but I've got it. I put up some channel point rewards. You can redeem channel points if you'd like to hear me go off topic about a game that I really like or a game that I don't like. And
Emily?
Oop, hold on, we got cutscene.
He's gone. Dylan isn't here. He might be nearby. Or maybe the hiss got to him. I don't know.
Jesse, listen. Dylan's here. With us. He just walked in. He says he is giving himself up. He's been affected by the hiss, but he is different than the others. We must isolate him.
I'm on my way. We need to get back. I have to
He's
see my brother.
that's oh boy. that is oh no. All right, well I guess we got to go back. We didn't find Dylan, he found us. And we don't have level 6 clearance yet. So I can't even get into that room if I wanted. But we have some lore, which I'm going to read as soon as I finally finish saying what I'm trying to say. So there's a channel point reward that you can redeem, and I'll talk about a game that I like. And there's a channel point redeem where I'll talk about a game that I don't like. And I'm going to update the descriptions eventually. I had like 5 minutes to type these in. I'd like it for people to pick the console. And so maybe in my about, I'll list the consoles that I own. And then you can just say redeem the thing, and then say the console, and I'll pick a console. I'll pick a game off that console that I've played or that I own, and I'll talk a little bit about it, why I like it or why I don't like it. And that's what I've got so far. There's going to be other channel rewards, but that's where we are at this moment. I figure that might be a fun thing. Because if there's one thing that I have, it is a long-ass list of games under my belt. And another thing, Final Fantasy. Yeah, all right. Let's see here. Federal Bureau of Control. Dylan Faden, Daily Observations. Confidential. 9:30 a.m. Breakfast is brought. 11:54 a.m. Gets out of bed, uses toilet, returns to bed. 11:57 a.m. Asks for television to be turned on. Staff do so. 12 p.m. Lunch is brought. Breakfast is removed. 12:02 p.m. Eats lunch. 2:38 p.m. Uses toilet. 4:03 p.m. Begins talking to self. Recording speech is not possible due to noise from television. 4:07 p.m. Becomes upset. Throws lunch tray at glass. It makes xylophone noises. We don't know why. 4:09 p.m. Sedated. Crew clean the cell. Television is turned off. 6:12 p.m. Comes to. Asks for television to be turned on. Staff refuse. 6:16 p.m. Sleeps? Question mark. And the footnote. Television privileges were refused due to hostile behavior. Well, Dylan, that's what you get, buddy. That's what happens when you do weirdo stuff like that. I hope I don't get attacked by the hiss in this room. That would, it won't end well for them, but it might not end well for me either. One, because I can't string sentences together, but also because I'm using guns that I'm not used to. It's almost like I complete games for fun. Yeah, exactly. That's why I've got so many under my butt. I'm sitting on a huge stack of games, metaphorically. And literally. That feeling when the glass is an SCP, but it's Sage level because all it does is sound like xylophones. Yeah. That's not the worst, right? I could live with haunted glass if it just makes xylophone noises. It'd be a little off-putting at first, but you get used to it quick, you know? All right, let's check out Dylan's domicile, where he spent the last entire childhood of his life. I think that's worth having a gander. So we've seen that he's carved. Oh, safe level. Oh, sage level sounds good too, because like sages are you know, they're wise, kind people who just know a lot and help people. And I feel like that's also what xylophone glass would be in the world of SCP.
All right, I won't take up too much of your time today, Dylan. Like I said, I want to talk about Jessie, your sister.
What about her?
I just want to get your perspective. What do you think of her? What kind of person is she? That sort of thing.
I adored my sister. When I was little, I mean, back in Ordinary.
And you don't anymore?
When I first got here, sure. I'd always hoped she'd come too. Find me, to take me home. We went everywhere together. Why should this be any different? Casper said she could come too, to the Bureau. If she wanted to. But she never did.
Why do you think that is?
Because she didn't care about me. She always wanted to be out on her own, seeing the world. She always said so. I guess she got what she wanted.
Great. So, she wanted to see the world. Did she ever mention any place in particular?
Why?
We like to ask questions around here, you know that. Any particular cities, towns, landmarks, anything like that?
I don't remember.
What about family friends? Were you close with anyone living outside of Ordinary?
I'm done with this. Tell Casper I want pizza for lunch today.
Dylan, wait. We're not... End of session.
Oh yeah, no, we're done. it seems he's pretty done. Yeah, wow. Casper Darling lied straight to Dylan's ass, like right inside of it. He just told an echoey lie right in his butthole. He said to him, "Yeah, no, Jessie can come. She's welcome. Absolutely. By the way, any idea where she is? You know, just out of curiosity, any family friends that she would be staying with? Because oh boy, she's so welcome if she wants to be here." What a day. What a situation. So great. Now we know we're going to be meeting Dylan under circumstances where he thinks we abandoned him. When in reality, Jessie has been looking for him for her entire childhood. And only with the help of a magical noise ghost was she even able to find the place, let alone get inside. And now she finally is inside, and there is another magical noise ghost all up in her biz. It's a disaster. Dylan is still like a 6-year-old boy, thanks science. Honestly, yeah. Like that's accurate. He didn't get to live a life, so he is not mentally or emotionally matured past the point that he was essentially incarcerated. Like, look at this fucking place. He's up here. That's where he goes. That's his life from like age 6 on. Like, it's a situation, and it's not a good one. So, figure before we head back to Emily Pope and the gang, we might try to explore a bit more of the Panopticon. And to do that, I need to see where the margins are. Okay, the margins are there. So I think I can just do like a float. Yeah, just a little bit of that. See? Easy. We can fly now. Fuck. We can fly now. So this, this opens things up to us a little bit. Oh, we got an ability point about it. That's not too shabby. There's probably going to be a bit more lore as we look through here, but all the shutters are closed here. I wonder what that's about. Oh, hello. Oh! Speaking of Alan Wake...
Fiction ends and reality begins. Here, they're all the same. It's a hideous trap, my every thought made real. Fear, desire. How can I ever know for sure I've escaped and not just lost in my own fantasy of it? That thought alone can drive you insane.
One of the pages from Alan Wake's typewriter is in the Panopticon. Suffice to say, Chaotic 94, I hope we get Alan Wake 2 as well. Typewritten page, A183-KE. Containment procedure. No unique procedures required. Description/altered effect. A standard letter-size typewritten page with minor water damage. The page is full of text, but apart from the top 7 lines, all the rest has been violently scratched out. Only a few individual words and phrases can be made out. The page emits a dim glow in the dark. When the text is read, there's a feeling of dislocation, as if witnessing the page being written as you read it, and as if reality around you was being redacted to match the words on the page. This feeling is made stronger if the text is redacted. Forensic and linguistic analysis confirm that the text has been written by Alan Wake, with the same typewriter as the earlier materials discovered in Bright Falls in 2010. See Bright Falls AWE case file for more information. Typewritten page A183-KE. Acquisition date August 28, 2019. Containment location Panopticon, Floor 5, Unit 6. Yeah, boy, we got Alan Wake up in this beehive. The Panopticon kind of is one. And there's the thermos. There is the Bright Falls thermos also. Another Alan Wake reference. Up your butt with an uppercut. I mean, speak nothing of one of the DLCs basically just being another chapter of Alan Wake. Forget all of that noise. Why they're not putting Alan Wake in the damn SCP jail? Because he's lost. He's in the dark world. That's where things left off at the end of Alan Wake and Alan Wake American Nightmare. That's what that's about. Okay, so we've pretty much explored. Can I make it? I'm not sure I can, but I'm gonna try. Ah, yeah, I did. That was years ago. Whatever, keep up. I can't remember stuff I did 2 days ago, but I expect you to remember the finer details of a game from a decade ago, god damn it. Alright, let's see. I am kind of going through this place with a fine toothpick comb, a fine tooth, lots of teeth, combs everywhere, just up to our knees in them. Because I love the Panopticon. Do you hear me? I love it here. So I need to see everything. Smoking Pram, A113-KE, supplementary material. Interview with Redacted, conducted with the aid of a French translator on November 17, 2009, in a retirement home in Redacted, France. A. Where were you on August 2nd, 1979, Mr. Bellew? RB, translated from French. So specific a date, laughter, as if I could ever forget. I was called to a fire at the Rue Redacted. A. What did you see? RB, smoke, white like a new pope, rising up from the windows of a small shop. I sent my men in. I was fire chief back then. A. What happened next? RB. We pulled the shop owner out. He was already dead. Smoke in his lungs. We found the source afterwards. A baby's walker. Poured water into it. But that only encouraged the smoke. We pulled the carriage outside. Smoke kept shooting out. A crowd gathered. People said it was a miracle, but I disagreed. It seemed to me like more of an omen. We brought the strange thing back to the fire hall. Some Americans, like yourself, came later and took it away. End of relevant portion. ID, Smoking Pram, A113-KE. Acquisition date, August 5th, 1979. Containment location, Panopticon, Floor 2, Unit 1. 1, so 11, Unit 11. It's at Unit 11, guys. Is this really Floor 2, though? I feel like I didn't go down that far. I feel like that. Oh yeah, we should probably deal with Fridge Guy, since we've dealt with Dylan, right? Probably do something about Fridge Guy. I'll look for him. There's a control point here. I'll spend my abilities once we get back. There he is. Hey, Fridge Boy. Oh, God.
Hey, what can I do?
Oh, you're back. Oh, thank you, thank you. If I look away, I don't know what this thing will do. You have to get me out of here. The door can only be opened by the Panopticon supervisor. That's Langston, if he's still around.
Langston. Yeah, I know him. I'll go ask him how to get you out.
Please hurry. My eyes, they can't.
Hey, calm down. Just focus. What's your name?
Focus, right. My name's Philip, and I think I can hold on for a bit. It's just my eyes. My eyes hurt so much.
Just hang on, Philip.
Couldn't he just like blink one eye and then blink the other and sort of take turns blinking eyes to keep them moisturized? What games am I looking forward to? Let me see here. What games am I looking forward to? Well, I'm looking forward to Yakuza Like a Dragon. I know it's out already, but I want to get the PlayStation 5 version of it, and that is not out. Not until March, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Nier Replicant remaster, the version of Nier that we never got in the United States / Canada. So that's a big excitement. I'm tentatively excited for Bravely Default 2. I'm a bit confused by its existence because Bravely Default and Bravely Second already exist, and Octopath Traveler is a garbage fire. So I'm kind of surprised that the team is making like a different sequel. You know what I mean? Like Bravely Second is already a sequel. So what would you call Bravely Default 2? Are they both a sequel to the first game? Because, like, okay, look, Bravely games pull some crazy shit. So that's where most of the excitement's coming from. How is this game going to turn my brain inside out? It's very exciting. We're gonna upgrade more launch enemies. Can I afford some health? Oh, you bet I can't. All right. What else have we got? Oh, we've got levitate. Oh, we gotta increase the levitate duration. That's a obvious move. Split timeline, let's go! Oh, our weapon mods are choked. What else can we put in here? Energy recovery speed, sea speed. Yeah, we want sea speed. Sea speed is a big one. Let me clear out all of the... Oh, there's hardly any. Bummer. Sometime this stream, I'm really going to have to start cleaning these out. What about RE8? I'm not really a Resident Evil guy. Not really. I mean, like, I enjoy them, but they're not like... They don't keep my cockles warm. I thought Resident Evil... I haven't played all of them. I'll get into it in a second. We gotta listen to Langstrom and his cat.
There's someone named Philip up in a cell. He's watching a refrigerator and very rapidly losing it.
Philip? Oh shit, I forgot about fridge duty. He's been in there for over a day, I totally forgot.
You forgot about him?
There's a lot going on. The hiss, the Benikoff TV. Considering the number of things I'm juggling, ma'am, I think it's...
Listen, it's fine. We just need to get him out of there. He said you'd be able to open the cell door?
Yeah, I can unlock it on my terminal. There.
Well, would you kindly?
Door open. But Philip can't just leave. The fridge is behaving erratically. Ocular contact is the only thing that seems to placate it. If we don't have someone in there watching it 24/7, people will die.
I'll figure something out. I'm pretty good with these things.
Being pretty good with altered items isn't standard bureau procedure, ma'am.
He doesn't know us very well.
Yeah, Jessie's kind of like Mega Man.
I'll see you later, Langston.
Where she encounters an altered item
Like always.
and turns it into Splash Cannon or Yodel Spear or whatever. Right? So Langstrom better, stuff his tuchus into a seat and shut it. Right, so Resident Evil. So my first ever Resident Evil game was 4 on the Wii. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. And Resident Evil 5 was okay. And Resident Evil 6 made me decide, you know what? I think I've seen enough. I think that is enough of Resident Evil for me. I completely skipped 8 or 7, although I've watched Let's Plays of it, so I know it's okay. And then the Resident Evil 2 remake came out, and I played that, and I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it.
Hello?
And then, hold on, Philip. Philip, hold on. I'm telling a story, Philip. Philip. Then the Resident Evil 3 remake came out, and I was like, you know what? I think Capcom doesn't really know what it wants to do. So we're gonna walk away again for a while and see how things are in another 5 years. So maybe Resident Evil Village will be good. It probably will. I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye out, but I'm not excited for it. I think that's probably fair.
I'm back. I'm coming in.
Uncle Fisticuffs. That was good DLC.
Thank you.
Don't worry, Philip. Here we come. We're gonna rescue. Uh-oh.
The French is doing something.
Philip?
Oh, fudge.
Philip?
I can't get out. Oh. Oh no.
If I look away, it hurts me.
Oh, they're doing a Resident Evil 4 remake? That's cool. Okay, what is former?
This sounds like the board, but I can't understand it.
It does sound like the board.
The fuck?
Language, Missy! I pick now of all times to switch guns to some other type of gun. Wait. I'll charge up. This thing's big. Well, this isn't working. Oh god, those hurt. Those hurt a lot. That's pretty funny though. It's not doing any damage, but it's funny. Can I throw things at him? I sure would like to. Yeah, that's right. Shut up. I get some health back. Oh, it's got limbs. It's got big spidery. Oh my. Okay. Yep. Well. Well, that seems to hurt it. Oh. Oh, I can take its balls. I can take its balls. Oh, oh, fuck. I fell through the stage. God damn it. So that's what's been hiding inside the fridge. All right, let's see what people have been saying. Let's fight this fridge. The lighting in this game is so realistic. I think that's what makes everything look so good. Yeah, I agree. It is lit very well. Sometimes a little too well, but it is well lit. It's like an elephant trunk sucked up a flashlight. Ew, it's a giant flea. Yeah. And yeah, it's called the former, and it sounds like the board. That's interesting. Interesting indeed. Where's it going to put me? Oh, right back here. Okay. Well, this time I'm going to endeavor not to fall off the arena. That's priority numero uno.
I'm coming in.
Jesse? The French is doing something!
Philip? Philip?
Yikes. So Philip's gone. Oh, geez. It's not even her facing it. If I look away with the camera, it hurts.
It hurts me.
What if I look away with Jesse? Right, so it's not Jesse. It's my perspective. That's wild. Alright, let's refight this fridge. Putting myself at a bit of a disadvantage here. Okay. Guys, I need to at least get grip back. At least. Now, how are we looking on other things? Are there other things that I can equip on here? Let's see. Enemy armor. Damage against enemy armor is a good one. If I unlock a third slot for it, that's definitely going in there. Energy gained from headshots. Damage while aiming. damage after kills. Yeah, interestingly enough, just straight damage mods are somewhat hard to come by in this game. But I think we're fine with this. I think this will do. Okay.
This sounds like the board, but I can't understand it. What the fuck?
Those do a lot of damage. I know what I'm asking for Christmas. Okay, I think it's going to shrink the arena, so... Shoot wildly at it. Oh, I didn't grab the ball. What the heck? No, I'm supposed to grab the balls. I'm supposed to grab the balls. That should have hurt me. I don't know why I didn't. I'm not grabbing the balls. This is a tragedy. There we go. When I say grab balls, you grab balls, mister. You want giant balls from space for Christmas? Yeah, see, there's like these huge holes in the floor. He's doing those. And he doesn't have to. I'd appreciate it if he did not, sir. Nope. Oh, Jesus. I'm kind of afraid to land. He's almost dead. There we go.
Wait.
Ain't no fridge gonna put me in the corner. So that was
The fridge seems fixed.
something.
Did fighting that thing off change something?
I guess the fridge no longer requires to be watched, but we lost Philip. We lost him. Philip got eaten up by a fridge. This is not a great Sunday for him. Federal Bureau of Control. Employee Report. Review. Incident in question occurred on Redacted and was brought to HR Department's attention by the internal security personnel who intervened. According to reports supported by security camera footage, Agent Filson, please tell me his name is Philip Filson, entered the staff kitchen with the intention of consuming his private meal, a homemade sandwich cut diagonally and packed in a plastic container, but discovered the refrigerator had redacted his meal. Agent Filson began to kick the Bureau-owned appliance as he expressed his frustration in a loud and profane manner. This behavior caused multiple staff members present to become alarmed. Security was alerted soon after. Filson complied with security's command to desist. Recommendation. Agent Filson was reprimanded and suspended for the remainder of the ongoing work week. The review committee recommends one non-mandatory counseling session. I slipped up at the end there. Employee name. It's Philip Filson. Oh my god, yes. Everyone, F in the chat for Philip Filson. Employee position, junior agent. Report type, incident, violent behavior. So this guy's punishment, not only was he suspended for a whole ass week. Thank you for actually putting F's in the chat. Not only was he suspended for a whole ass week, he was put on watch the damn fridge duty. Now you know you done fucked up. You know you ABCD all the way to Z fucked up when they put you on fridge duty. And look what happened to him. Well, that's just a sad story. I'm gonna pour one out for Philip Filson. That's the best name. That is the best name. Yeah, ordinarily, that would be a fall to my death. But I can fly. He should have just dealt with the fridge laying eggs on his sandwich. I mean, working at this place, yeah, that's what I would suggest too. Is there anything else at the Panopticon we can explore? Let's go over here and see what we find. I'm very curious. This is a fortified unit, so it won't open, no matter how much we beg. Alright, so this part is nothing. But what about over there? With the stepladder? Archives. Oh ho! We have a new place. We have a new space. Excuse me, I'll check that out in a moment. Nope, we're not dealing with you. Don't care. What's this thing? It appears to be a globe in a fancy table recess. Very cool. What if that globe, when you spin it, you get like teleported to the spot that lands in front of you? That's pretty terrifying, right? And over here, we have what looks to be an undecorated Christmas tree. That reminds me of a movie that no one believes me is real. By the way, I see the pram. Let's talk about the pram for a second. So we read the intel on the pram. It just produces smoke. That's just what it does. Creepy. I really do like it when we read about certain objects in the files and they're literally actually in the Panopticon. Like, I think that is super cool. Well, that's what the game calls it too. The game calls it a pram. The kitty. I'm not being weird. You should be proud of me for knowing what a pram is. Can I not go in here? Oh, I can. Okay, it's like an airlock situation. So, what do we... Okay, we've got situations immediately. And we've got one of those fucking things, so that's great too. Alright, let's deal. Let's deal with it. Let's check out our new seize speed. Bam! You're seized! Oh shoot, something is firing stuff at me. Yeah, they're firing rockets. I should probably prioritize whoever's doing that move. Probably this guy. Cut it out. I'm pressing the dodge button, and I'm not doing a dodge. It's concerning me. A rocket launcher, gimme. What do you call prams in America, Canada? Like, strollers, right? Baby strollers. There's an orb. Okay, yeah, there it is. I'm like, where the flip is the orb? We've got, like, explodey dudes all up in my junk, and I don't want them there. Hang on, I gotta reload. Don't zoom away. Okay, there we go. Remote thought. Well, that's a nice item to have. Are we good? No, we're not. We're not good. We're never good. You belong to me now. All right. I think we're finally chill. Yeah, maybe. They might call them prams there as well. I think it used stroller and pram in the dossier. I might just be covering my tracks now, like I just pulled pram out of thin air. I just like wrongly remember that the report said so. I swear it did, though. Am I still being shot at? That's so 2008. I don't know why I have to fight in here at all. This is the archives. It's like a library. It's supposed to be quiet at a library. Instead, I have to fight round 2 of these dodo butts. I'm gonna take this guy over. Nope. Succumb to me. Alright, so let me read chat while he's dealing with stuff. Oh, I'm being attacked anyway. These people have no chill. How did there get to be so many enemies down here? This is wild. I'm sorry, did I not, like, summon something? And those weird square fragments are there, too. I don't know what's going on. This game is having issues. That didn't happen when I played this game the first time. Very unusual. Can I get rid of it by pressing start? Yes, I can. Okay. Let's see. This guy. And don't think I didn't notice. Don't think I didn't notice this flaming nope down here that I want no part of. Ouch. Might just be a bug. Yeah, it is. It is a bug. It just wasn't a bug when I played it. So it's likely a situation where they patched the game and created more problems than they fixed. Okay, are we chilling here now aside from that thing? No. No, we're not. Okay. I just want some peace. Like, this thing has learned how to climb stairs. Fuck. I have to get out of here now. We made it to the archives. I couldn't be prouder of us. So what is even in here that's worth looking at after all of that? Just... I just can't. I can't with you. I can't. Alright. We'll have peace and quiet eventually. Oh, I hope they're doing okay with Dylan back at Central Executive, you know. My dog. Take a hike. I was expecting a bit more to read. Everything is definitely fine. You bet it is. They've got him isolated and dealt with. There's nothing in this room? Really? Wow. Do I understand the story of this game? You had no idea when you finished, but still had fun? Yeah, I understand the story of this game. It is a little bit esoteric. And reading all the dossiers does actually help quite a bit. I'll be happy to talk about my thoughts about the story once I get through it, because I have a lot of those. A lot of thoughts. And I don't have high enough clearance to get into here. So, that's icky. I feel like maybe there was just nothing here, but I know there's at least there's some lore in here. I remember there was. But it's possible I just came here too early. Let's try checking out the lower floor. Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, those spasming balls of detritus are easily my least favorite ever. Like, you name a game, they're my least favorite thing about it. Even if they only appear in this game. I hate them in all games. Alright, was there a basement level to all of this? I suppose so. You dislike the dinosaur throbbing tar? Yeah. Yeah, who wouldn't? It's not a good time. Not a good time today. Oop, I think we got... Oh, no. It's just stupid modifications and upgrade materials. Blah. Pierce aimed fire boost. That sounds pretty nice. Oh! Okay, what is this, Dark Souls? We're just mimics now? That's who we are? That's who we've decided to be? Frankly, I'm a little grossed out. And there's so many of them. Holy shit. Get lost. Oh, and they're not even done. There are yet more of them. This is truly the Dark Souls of FPS. Yeah, you're right. Now that's Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is the Dark Souls of FPS. Excuse me. Sorry about that. You have to get good to even be able to play the game. Are they just going to keep coming? Is this now an infinite explodey dude room? Is that what I've unleashed upon myself? Because frankly, no thanks. Oh my god. I'm not going to die like this. I refuse. I refuse to die like this. That's it, right? We're done? They're all gone. They are. They're all gone. Okay. I think now is probably as good a time as any to start cleaning up my modifications in earnest. So, I'm going to start getting rid of level 2s, but I'm going to read what they are first. Damage while aiming, headshot damage, energy gain from headshots, accuracy, projectiles fired, rate of fire, recoil, we might, we don't need recoil. Ammo cost per shot, reload speed, and zoom. Okay, let's do the body ones too. So we have C speed and 2 health boosts. Do we have any better for health boosts? We do. Perfect. Do we have another one that's better? Wait. I'm blind. I'm a blind boy. I'm glad I looked. Okay. Oh, what a situation. We'll hold on to C speed. Actually, no, we don't need to because we already have one. Shield energy cost, health, launch energy cost, evade energy cost. We don't care about any of these guys. Health regeneration. Boom. Okay. And, you know, I'm going to switch. I'm sorry. I didn't like these weapons very much. I fought a fridge with them. It wasn't the best. I'm more comfortable with grip and shatter. That is my wheelhouse. What made you stop doing Let's Plays on YouTube? You just went to do Twitch instead? Well, I mean, there's like a 10-year gap between those two decisions. But I understand what you're saying. I'm going to do like one more scope of like the toppest floor. And, wow, that's terrifying. I will answer your question. I have not forgot about that. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything. I don't know what this is in the center of the room either. It's a collectible, but I can't collect it. Oh, never mind. It's just a radio. Okay. So I'll answer your question and then I'll read this. Basically what the kitty said. Depression got pretty bad, and the whole Let's Playing thing was starting to feel more like something I had to do than something I wanted to do. And I stopped doing Let's Play about a year after I started feeling that way. So I was like really forcing myself to make videos. And I don't know if you could tell that the quality of my commentary or just like the amount of effort I was putting in was dropping off, but I could. And it eventually just hit a point where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's not fun. And it's like just making me feel worse, because if I like didn't upload a video for X amount of weeks, I would start to feel guilty, like I had disappointed everyone, and that made me like a failure and a bad person. So it was just like really toxic, the sort of environment I was making for myself. So I quit. And, you know, then the PlayStation 4 came out, and I started uploading some clips here and there. And I would get, like, you know, the odd comment saying, like, oh, we miss you, and, you know, at least I'm glad you're still posting stuff, though I wish your voice was attached to it. And in this time, the computer that I used for editing died. Like, it's just, it's a black stain on the concrete, this computer. So the one I'm using now is actually worse somehow. So I can't use any of my editing stuff on it. And to be perfectly honest, like the video making hardware that I had, aka a Dazzle, was pretty crappy even then. Like, I was using a pretty rinky-dink setup, And if I were to attempt to do one now, it would be even rinkier and arguably even dinkier. So I decided to do Twitch because, you know, the PlayStation 4 and 5 can stream. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm streaming natively off my PlayStation, which is why the no face cam. I recently got a PS5 camera, so I can do that now, but I'm very slowly starting to fill the shoes of a streamer. So I haven't quite got my channel, you know, kitted out. And I don't think it's ever going to hit the level of like people who have like fancy intro videos and BRB videos and all of that stuff, because again, I'm streaming natively and I don't know if that's ever going to change. But at the moment I'm having fun. Yeah, VHS quality LPs. Exactly. That's basically what the Dazzle delivered to you. I'm having fun doing this. I'm playing games that I think are really cool. And nobody's watching, which, you know, is fine. I mean, it'd be cool if people were also. But I'm actually really happy with the small amount of people that show up pretty regularly. Like D Kitty and you know, Frontier Jazz comes by, Papa Beatloaf, some Slytherin. I'm doing some shout outs. Like it's a nice little group. And I do this 3 times a week. What? Why are you excusing you? I felt like I saved that one. I felt like I pulled back on the stick right before it crashed. What do you think? Oh man. I'm sorry, I did not mean to wrong you. Ugh, man, I'm all like congested and stuff. Let me hydrate for a second, which involves dunking my head into a tub of Jello. And that's the thing too with having a camera. Now I'm gonna have to like put on clothes when I stream. What's that about? And I'm gonna have to start like brushing my teeth with toothpaste instead of whole sticks of butter. That's a lot of changes, so I'm slowly warming myself up to it. Excuse me. Me. Behavioral containment changes, altered items. Summary. Recently, there have been some alarming changes in behavior and altered effect in 2 altered items in the Panopticon. The Redacted and the Redacted have become much more aggressive, with entirely new effects manifesting for no discernible reason. The items have been investigated for updated containment procedures to counter these new effects, with one successfully discovered to be contained by constant visual contact. But this development is worrying. What if all the altered items undergo this behavioral change? We need to find out why this is happening. What is changing? Handling these altered items has also resulted in numerous Panopticon staff being redacted. I would say they've gone to the astral plane, but these aren't objects of power. Not one of them has come back. This, plus the uptick in astronauts not returning from their dives, has me wondering what the hell is going on. Is anyone looking into this? Is there any plan? Refer to file redacted for full report. Right, so the fridge only recently started displaying this behavior. And so the former, who sounds like the board, recently took residence of the altered fridge item. That's pretty wild. Let's see what else we've missed here. Ah, yes, the refrigerator procedures. Do I miss early YouTube? A little bit. I miss it a little bit. It's strange because, like, I think at all points in YouTube history, it kind of feels like it's impossible at this point in YouTube to make it. Because, like, when I was doing Let's Play in those halcyon days, I thought that Let's Play was too saturated and that it was really difficult to rise to the top. You know? And then people like PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye came along and proved that concept. Wrongosaurus Rex. But, you know, with them also came sort of a shift in the focus of Let's Play. Like, I'm from the old school, you know, like LP forums, something awful, etc. where doing YouTube Let's Plays was actually kind of like an insult to the craft. And doing Let's Play was about, singing a love song to the game. It's not about you. Your job is to do the game justice, not to, outshine the thing. And, Let's Players, quote unquote, of today, it's all a cult of personality. It's all about them playing the game rather than the game they're playing. Yeah, and back then 1,000 views meant you were famous. Like I remember like Lord Vega at the zenith of their popularity had like 30,000 subscribers, and that was like a massive deal. That was a huge ass deal. SS Skinner had almost 20,000. Like Proton John had 120,000. He was like the biggest Let's Player around. And now you have like your Markipliers with 10 million subs and your PewDiePies with 110 million subs. Now, obviously, they're standout exceptions, so I can't keep listing them. But still, yeah, I do kind of miss the earlier days of Let's Play and the earlier days of YouTube. Especially just because of the environment. Like, the environment right now is very corporate and very, like, not saccharine, but, like, very, like, sterilized. It's a sterilized environment. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I'll look at that in a second. It's an environment. Fuck me. It's an environment where, you're not allowed to be yourself. You have to make, like a family-friendly, brand-safe version of yourself in your videos. You can't do anything without incurring the wrath of that yellow dollar symbol, which has never been a concern for me, because when I was doing Let's Play, they were not partnering video game channels. It was some copyright consideration that suddenly no longer exists. But we weren't getting paid. We weren't getting any ad revenue. But yeah, YouTube's become a hostile environment for creators who don't conform, to being child-friendly, even if you mark your channel as a channel not aimed at children. So, with that said, why don't we brilliantly segue into another episode of The Threshold Kids. I'm gonna just clench my various sphincters.
TV! Let's watch donkeys in space!
It's not safe.
But Star Captain Hee-Haw! Can I poke it with a stick?
Okay. Bureau rule number 74. Always be suspicious of things that weren't there before.
What?
Looks safe to me.
Donkeys in space!
Wait! It's not even plugged in!
Great, thanks. I'm glad I came here. Everything was worth it. This whole trip, this whole flippin' diaper shitting trip. I hate the Threshold Kids. I don't know what it is about them, but it just they hurt. I've been in here. Okay, I think I've seen everything I need to. Oh, I've brought more hiss upon myself. I think I've seen everything I need to see in here. I think it's safe to move on. We're just going to get the heck on out of here. That's quite enough. Let's head back to Emily Pope and the gang. You know, it's been long enough. Thought maybe I could sidestep that, but guess not. Whoa! We got one of these too! Perfect! Love that. I'm sorry? What? Is there a... There's another rocket dude. Can you not? Can you make the conscious decision to cut that out? Ugh. There. I killed it by throwing a brick at it. Oh shit, it's like right in front of me. Okay, well, we're not entertaining any of that. We're just gonna... How do I get out of here? I'd like to leave, please. Where is the exit? Okay, this way. Grab all this stuff and get healed to full. Well, that was a lovely little, trip. That was just beautiful. I'm glad I did it. Would recommend 10 out of 10. Let's see. Chaotic 94. I don't want to be that hipster dude type guy. I can read. But earlier YouTube was a lot more fun just because only the nerds were on it, and now everyone is, and it's just for advertisers now. Yeah, I think with the death of Vine, it's certainly, because like everyone who used to be like a Vine star came over to YouTube, right? And they brought their like Vine culture with them and sort of turned YouTube into like a half YouTube, half Vine kind of platform. Dadgummit. Okay, we got the haunted mailbox. So we want to be on the other side of this, I think. Are we going to get ambushed? Who can say? So we learned quite a few things. Quite a few things indeed. I think I forgot to read the fridge thing. Shoot. How in the hell am I going to find it now? Where the hell is it? I don't think I read the fridge one. It's a picture of a fridge, though, so it should be in here somewhere. It's not an object of power, though. It's an altered item. Yeah, I didn't read this. I opened it and started talking about stuff, and then I didn't read it. So we found it. Let me solve that problem right here. Arctic Queen, A110-KE. Containment procedure. No unique procedures required. Description/altered effect. An Arctic Queen brand electric refrigerator model from the 1960s. No cooling functionality. The door is decorated with crayon illustrations by Redacted. The illustrations cannot be removed from the item. All attempts have failed. The paper cannot be burned or torn. Background. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after it survived the collapse of New York City's Grand Central Hotel, where it served as an appliance in apartment Redacted, rented by a man named Redacted. It became the subject of local infamy after surviving the building's collapse undamaged. Mr. Redacted, who was out of the building at the time of collapse, Redacted, PM, retained ownership of the item until 1974, when the Bureau purchased the item through a false identity. Appendix. New altered effect has been observed. See file A1... Sorry, yeah. whatever. 110F, some letters and numbers, for details. See file AI10.K for new containment procedures. So that's referring to the fact that it suddenly started behaving in a way that made it dangerous. And I'm assuming that's when the former jumped into it. That was the moment the former occupied it. And judging by its name and the way it sounds, nope. I think the kitty was right on the money. I think the former used to be a member of the board. And there's actually a board hotline video about the former. So let's look at that right now. Well, that's a gymongous yikes. So what did we learn from that? Yeah, what the kitty said. OMFG, it got fired and decided to make a competing company of haunted shit. Yeah, that's on the money as usual. Your ability to succinctly take information and convey it is just mwah, beautiful. That pyramid gives me Thumper vibes. I haven't played Thumper, but I know of it. I know about it. I should play it. Yeah, so the former used to be part of the board, and I guess they disagreed, and it ran off and decided to haunt a bunch of items of its own and link them together, similar to the way the board does with objects of power. It's like if a jilted employee of Walmart left to build their own Walmart that was slightly not as good as Walmart's Walmart, just because of resources alone. And the board wants us to know that hey, if you listen to what the former has to say, if you side with it in any way, we're going to erase you. You are going to be dead and not exist forever. Kisses. So that's kind of making me have questions about the board. I thought we were on the same team, and it seems our same teamedness comes with some conditions. And that I don't like too much. So let's learn about control points from our pushy managers over at the board. So as I listen to these, and as I think about it, the board strikes me, because the game kind of throws all this stuff at you, and it makes you think, okay, I'm in the oldest house, there's all kinds of crazy stuff here, but there is a chain of command, and the director is chosen based on whether or not they can wield the service weapon. And the service weapon is an object of power, and objects of power link to the board on the astral plane. And the board has a direct line of communication with the director called the hotline. It is a red Bakelite telephone. So they're working together, right? So you would think, okay, the Federal Bureau of Control belongs to the board. The oldest house belongs to the board. But does it, right? Because here's the thing. The Ocean View Motel exists, and the Ocean View Motel is a location that links different realities, using itself as a nexus or a hub. And the board's reality, which happens to be where the oldest house also resides, aka this dimension, is only one of several that link up and connect to the motel. And the motel chose to add its light switches to the oldest house so people from within could access it. So I think that the oldest house is its own thing, and the board just has access to it through the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Because they wouldn't make threats like that if they had everything under control. If they were like the whole deal, they wouldn't make threats like, don't listen to the former, otherwise we'll erase you. That's what I think. That's my thoughts about it. Let's teleport to Emily Pope and see what she has to say. And that further strengthens my theory that Ati is the oldest house. That's my theory about him. The janitor, if you were wondering who that is. Thumper is a masterpiece. It's kind of like Rez. Do you mean like Resogun? Or a different game called Rez? There's a lot of games. I haven't played all of them, unfortunately. All right, what have we got in
She
here?
have to write everything in her made-up gibberish.
Oh boy.
Fucking Marshall with her CIA spy shit. God.
Well, Arish doesn't seem too happy with the way that that Marshall does things. Here is a Jukebox Token. So this is DLC. We're not gonna mess with this for now. Oh, Rez is a rhythm game on PS2. I haven't heard of it. That is whenever such an occasion arises that I haven't heard of a game, I tip my hat because I've heard of almost all of them. So that's cool. And that might sound like an exaggeration, but like, goddamn, dude, do I know a lot of games? Television proposal. Federal Bureau of Control. Television show proposal. Based on the success of America Overnight, we would like to propose the creation of a television series that presents superstition and skeptical thought as entertainment, in order to popularize these concepts among the civilian population and create less resistance to redirecting information regarding public paranatural events. We can also use a solid media outlet to test paranatural concepts on civilian audiences. See how they react to certain facts presented as fiction in the event that the Bureau ever decides to make certain realities public knowledge. There are various show licenses that we could purchase and reboot rather than starting from scratch. One particular property seems promising, especially considering its content and tone are precisely what we're looking for. It's called Night Springs and has been off the air for a few years now. And I happily remind you guys that Night Springs is the television show that kept playing during Alan Wake, a sort of Twilight Zone analog. So that very show was created by the Federal Bureau of Control in order to propagandize paranatural reality as paranatural fiction.
I found this token. Any idea what it does?
Ah, that is a jukebox token. Little bastards turn up in the weirdest places, like bad pennies. The Rangers use them to activate an old object of power.
A jukebox, I assume. Does it have any good songs?
Nope, just the one record. Hey, be careful turning it on, though. When it's playing, you get a free trip to the formation.
The formation? That sounds ominous. Why does it send you there?
The Bureau had been wondering that for years. I mean, it's just a pile of rocks built by God knows who, but... Well, researchers have confirmed it's in the same threshold as the quarry. Well, no one's ever been able to map a physical route to the formation for maintenance.
So it's in the quarry. You just don't know where.
Pretty much. We only send in annual expeditions to the formation now. Checkups, Salvador calls them. This year's team went in the day the hiss arrived. Come to think of it, the song should have brought them back hours ago.
I can go in and take a look.
I'd appreciate that. The jukebox is kept just past the security booth over there. Just put in the token and enjoy the ride.
So we're going to ask Arish some more questions, but we're not going to check out the jukebox right now. We're just not going to. It's essentially like a timed survival mode. It's incredibly difficult. You don't really get much for doing it. It's kind of just a waste of time. I'll examine it later, but not right now. For now, let me catch up on chat. So Rez is a rhythm game on the PS2, but it's also on PS4. I'm assuming through the PS2 for PS4 program they had going for a while. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. And have I heard of the Outer Wilds? I have heard of it. I know that people confuse it with the Outer Worlds a lot, and I've heard it's really good. So that's on my list for sure. I'll take a look at that. GTF is here. Welcome to the stream, GTF. Happy to have you here. That looks like, what, Stallone and who's that on the right there? Jim Norton, Danny DeVito. Who am I looking at? But they seem to be in accord. And Jiffrey is here. He subscribed. Wow. Thanks, Jiff. You've subscribed for 2 months. Welcome to the PP Poo Poo Squad. I'm working on that name. It's a work in progress. Enjoy none of the emotes, because I don't have any of those yet. But absolutely enjoy the 2 new channel point rewards that I've added to the stream. You get a lot of use out of the Predator handshake? Right on. I see that's what that was. All right. Talk about a game I dislike. Wow, you're just going right into it. Okay, let's see. Resonance of Fate. I don't like Resonance of Fate. Resonance of Fate is a Tri-Ace RPG, which means it was made by the same creative minds that did Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile, if I'm not mistaken. And so there is a pedigree of quality that you would expect from a Tri-Ace game. I mean, if anyone's played any of the Star Ocean's past 2, you may not feel that way anymore. But for a time, they were one of the names that you knew, like, okay, I'm about to get some good shit. Resonance of Fate has no story to speak of. In fact, the majority of the story... Hey, Bork, welcome to the stream. The majority of the story is told through 4 cutscenes that play during the attract mode. Now, some of you weren't born in the 80s, so let me explain what an attract mode is. If you've ever been to an arcade, you know how, like, when no one is playing, it shows, like, some gameplay, like, that sort of loops? And then it comes back to the main menu, and then if you wait, like, 10-20 seconds, it goes to, like, another video of some AI hopefully playing the game as badly as humanly possible. That's the attract mode. So if you want to know what the story for Resonance of Fate even is, you need to watch 4 different cutscenes that play at different intervals during the attract mode, which means you have to sit on the main menu. The rest of the story is told through the instruction book. You would think that maybe the best place to tell a story would be during the game, but no. The game has you going on weird fetch quests for nameless, faceless NPCs that result in absolutely nothing happening from the beginning until the end. And the gameplay itself is novel at first. You create, like, little triangles with your characters where they shoot guns, and then you build up a meter, and when you build the meter all the way up, you can do, like, cool special moves and shit. It's kind of neat, but it's only kind of neat. It wears out its welcome super quickly. It is just one of the worst RPGs I have ever played. An instruction manual is a book made from trees. But yeah, I think it's terrible. And it recently got remastered on, like, the PS4. Why? Who knows? So many better candidates floating out there. It's a disaster. It is. It's a JRPG. It is. It's called Resonance of Fate, and it's one of the saddest excuses for a game that I have experienced. The end. Okay, so I hope that was worth 1,500 channel points. Thanks for redeeming that and having me basically focus test whether or not that was a good one to have there. So let's ask Arish about these things. He's been sitting here staring bullets into us with his oddly slightly too far apart eyes for at least 3 minutes.
What's the deal with Blackrock?
Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on BlackRock. You know, ever since research found out that it blocks paranatural stuff, they have just been parading dangerous materials in and out of the fucking quarry. Fucking lab coats, man. Look, making my job harder.
Sounds like there's some tension between departments.
Still, at least the quarry's got a good view of the night sky. You know, me and Salvador used to have after-work beers down there.
Okay, yeah, so the departments obviously have some friction going on between them. They're sort of run as, like, independent buildings, I guess, within the oldest house, which probably isn't too dissimilar from actual Federal Bureau office buildings. Let's see. Was that the one that taught you the memory, the leveling? I can't talk. Was that the one that also teaches you the leveling mechanics wrong? No. That's the Last Remnant. You got it. Don't get me started on Resonance of Fate. It's poo-poo. Chaotic 94. Do most people hate it, or is it a game that you hate that lots of people love? It's a game that no one talks about. Literally nobody. So I don't even know. I don't know if the majority of people who've played it like it or not. I see absolutely no discussion about it, ever. Me bringing up Resonance of Fate right now is probably the most marketing it's gotten in at least 5 years. So, I don't know. I don't know why they remastered it. Was Resonance of Fate the one that punished you for leveling early? No, that's Final Fantasy VIII. and also, I guess, to some degree, the Last Remnant as well. Let's ask Arish about Darling.
What do you know about Dr. Darling?
About as much as anybody, I guess. Head of research, loves to hear himself talk. All of those science types absolutely do. He's been acting a little bit psycho recently. Although HR told me not to use that word, so...
Everyone thinks finding Darling will lead us to the answers. But if he's completely lost it, then what help could he be?
That is a good point. And we've seen, like, no sign of Darling except for his videos that he leaves all over the place. A lot of unorthodox RPGs punish for grinding. Most of Saga does too. GTF, do all Saga games have this leveling system where you need to get hit without dying to raise defense and HP, and you have to attack to raise attack, and you have to use magic to raise magic? Because I think Final Fantasy II started that, correct me if I'm wrong, and I hate it. It's one of my least favorite mechanics of all time. You get that one for free. Let's ask about the Rangers.
You're security, right? Do you work with Rangers?
Not often. Rangers are specially trained in threshold reconnaissance and ground zero AWE response. Security is more interested in the dangers inside the Bureau.
They must see some weird stuff out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, every week they are tackling things that were previously unknown to the human experience. Most Rangers, they retire due to cognitive collapse. I looked up the medical definition. Not fun.
So the Rangers are Bureau staff that go into these thresholds. Whatever the threshold may be, they're the first line. The front. No, is the Vanguard the front one? I think it is. Whatever. They're the people that go in and explore and see whether or not it's safe and what the dealio is. And I guess there are some consequences that come as a result of doing that, especially since you don't really know what you're getting into until you go. So cognitive collapse is what he said, and that does not sound fun. Let's see, the GTF says, yes, FF2 is a prototype Saga, but the system didn't become a thing in Saga until Romancing 1. The original trilogy on Game Boy was similar, but not as loose on let's just keep using stuff to level stats. So, okay, so if that is the case, if that is how the Saga games get down eventually, how exactly is it they punish you for grinding? Because it seems like grinding is the only way you can even stand toe-to-toe to the next enemy you encounter. From Romancing onward, because enemies scale to you, grinding is not what's important. It's learning skills and getting equipment. Okay, I see. So that's not too dissimilar from the Last Remnant, where you have to fight a lot of big enemies to get stat ups before you level up. Because if you just level up without the stat ups, then the enemies will scale to whatever your level is and absolutely flatten you. So there's also a hidden battle rank system. The more fights you get into, the stronger the world slowly gets. Right. Yeah, okay. Those are definitely grind punishments, for sure. Chaotic94 asks, did you ever play Blue Dragon? That's a game that no one ever talks about. I have. I know there's actually a few Blue Dragon games. I only played the original one on the Xbox 360. I liked it. I also liked Lost Odyssey, which was made by the same company. If I'm not mistaken, the writer from the trilogy, I know we're going super tangent here, but I guess this is just where we are in the stream. The writer from the Final Fantasy games up to 6, I believe, because they're like the main trinity was a writer, a composer, and an artist. And the writer left before Final Fantasy VII to start his own company. And he's made a few games under the name Mistwalker, where he's made Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, The Last Story, which isn't at all analogous to Final Fantasy in any way that a human person could perceive. And they're all pretty good games. I will say that Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey are, gameplay-wise, physically identical. They are the same game. Which isn't a bad thing, but if you play them back-to-back, it is a little bit like... okay. Let's see, bosses are static, though, so if you grind forever, the bosses become the weakest thing in the games. Right. Yeah, it's systems like that just really frustrate me. Um, I only learned later that the best way to enjoy Final Fantasy VIII is to run from every battle that isn't a boss fight. Just run from all of them and, you know, draw grind your spells, stick them in stats, and then never use them again. Otherwise, your stat will go down. It's a brilliant system, way better than Materia. I'm so glad that the GF system exists. And yeah, because if you level up, not only are you making the enemies harder if your equipment doesn't pass muster, you lose out on certain items for those upgrades even existing. Say an enemy's drop table has this item you need only up to level 25, and if you're level 26, that item no longer exists. You can't get it anymore. That's just a reality. Let's see what Arish has to say about thresholds. There's been very little control in this stream. I don't even know what I am, but this is where we are.
How does the Bureau handle thresholds?
Handle might be a bit of an optimistic way to put it. Marshall sends her rangers in to map them, check growth rates, locate epicenters, take samples, measure stuff, basically.
Sounds like he's done his homework.
Now, down in maintenance, thresholds are used just like any other tool. The lab coats mine black rock from one, maintenance siphons water from another. We use it for pretty much everything, except drinking.
Why don't you drink it?
Do I even want to know?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of time we find these little chunks in it. It's pretty gross.
I didn't want to know.
Well, you did ask. So what do we know about Marshall? She seems pretty hard-ass. She refuses to call Jessie by her preferred pronouns. And overall, you know, she's got things on lock.
What do you think of Marshall?
Marshall? Marshall's a fucking badass. Rangers could not ask for a better leader. She's a little, you know, intense, but given the stuff she's seen, I'm not surprised. She does have a bad habit of disappearing, though.
Where does she go?
Last time she vanished, I did some digging into the security logs. I found camera footage of her entering the quarry. She was down there alone for days. Now, typically that's not allowed, but Marshall is kind of above the rules.
I wonder what she finds so interesting in the quarry.
She just stares at the rocks to see what will break first.
I have to go.
It's always the rocks.
You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Always the flipping rocks. Jukebox tokens can be constructed at control points or earned through bureau alerts, board countermeasures, expeditions, and defeating elite enemies. Yeah, well, we're not going to worry about that right now. Now, before we talk to Emily Pope, which I have been dangling over your heads like the sword of Damocles, but friendlier, let me check up the chat real quick. Blue Dragon has a rocking soundtrack. They got Ian Fucking-Gillian to sing in English for the boss theme. Yeah, I love that song. I love it the most. I'm tempted to start singing it right now, but I won't. GTF says, except in Romancing Saga 2, the 7 heroes have alternate powered-up forms depending on your average stats. Noel has 4 since his... Or is it... Whatever, I'm just going to say Noel. Has 4 since his form also depends on what you decide... When you decide to hunt him down before or after dealing with his sister. Well, that's kind of neat. GTF, are you familiar with Tim Rogers? I feel like the two of you possibly share a soul. He recently did a review of Tokimeki Memorial, and I'm curious, since you also have an encyclopedic knowledge of certain games, have you heard of it, and what are your thoughts on it? And we'll let you mull over that one. Well, we'll pick that up in a minute too.
But how did Darling create it?
Let's talk to Pope.
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here. But am I too late?
How is he? I need to know.
He's clearly been affected by the hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him.
My brother? Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jessie, be careful.
Okay, but I think Pope probably has some questions we can answer.
Hi,
Or
Jesse.
questions she can answer for us. Nope, she sure can't.
I should be going.
All right, well, let's go
Enjoy
check
your
up on
data.
Dylan, finally.
Oh, I will.
It's taken an hour and a half, but we're going to talk to Dylan. Come hell or high water, by hook or by crook, we're going to get him. Analysis of His Threat Part 4, Confidential. Summary. To examine the invasion's timeline of events for possible patterns in His behavior. Establishing a timeline is difficult at present because of lack of reliable communications between Bureau sectors and staff. Preliminary models indicate Ground Zero of the invasion is located within the executive sector. Once it becomes possible to interview surviving personnel, pinpointing the exact location should be feasible. Other outstanding questions that a timeline may help answer. How did the Hiss get past the internal lockdown? How does Hiss resonance advance through space, deliberately or uniformly? What is their ultimate goal? The outside world, a cross-dimensional destination. Refer to Redacted for full report. Compiled by Emily Pope, Research Specialist, by order of Director Jesse Faden. Very good questions. Yeah, I'm not really sure why that is. Until Dawn gave me Uncanny Valley as well. And this game doesn't either. It utilizes some of the same technology that was pioneered by the greatest hard-boiled detective game of all time, L.A. Noire. But,
This is Lynn Salvador, head of Bureau Security. This is Lynn Salvador, head of Bureau Security. I'm making a formal security order due to the incident in April, case number 21HQ593. Improper use of the jukebox altered item led to 2 fatalities. We believe a pair of agents used the jukebox to travel to the quarry threshold and engage in inappropriate workplace behavior. An expedition team found them decomposing at the formation's base a week later. At least we found out the jukebox doesn't bring corpses back when the song ends. I'm having the jukebox placed in a secure location in the executive sector. It should never have been accessible to low clearance staff in the first place. The new location's security and proximity to a high-traffic area will prevent misuse, while still allowing for expedition teams to access it when required. See me for any further details.
so this is sort of the threshold equipment of boning in the stacks, as it were. Some employees decided to have a little bit of a slap and a bit of a tickle in the formation. Not the best place, not the most romantic place to do that, and they died. They became very dead about it. There was an item. There was. Yeah, it was right here. America Overnight Results. Results Overview. The America Overnight Program. Summary. The America Overnight Program has operated successfully for over redacted years, originally designed to assist in providing disinformation to the naturally skeptic population of America. It has additionally led to the discovery of numerous AWEs and altered materials by allowing civilians to call in and report their experiences with the paranatural. In fact, America Overnight alerted the Bureau of Redacted and Redacted in its first year of operation alone. In this report, the investigation sector have cataloged and categorized each episode of America Overnight that has resulted in a successful Bureau investigation in order to help AWE occurrence analysis. The more redacted results of Night Springs have also been cataloged in a separate report. Refer to file redacted for full report. Compiled by Remy Denis, Chief Investigator, by order of Director Zachariah Trench. Oh, this is an old one. That's an old bit of lore. That's an oldie boldy. So here we have the jukebox. Like I said, we're not fucking with it, but you know where it is. You know where it is, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Where in the heck is Dylan? Did I manage to get a PS5? By the way, you went on Amazon, and you kid me not, it says we don't know if they're ever going to get stocked back in. Dude, that's real. Yes. Yes, I did. I'm playing on it right now, actually. No, we're not doing any of these. Get out of my face. I'm trying to find my brother. Game is not really giving me good directions on where I can find him.
Great. Maybe I can get back to my office soon. Martial orders orders us to just sit on our asses and then leaves? What's the deal?
She must have her reasons. She's probably out doing some recon.
Then she should have taken us with her. I need some action, goddammit.
I'm sorry, is the Bureau being taken over by magical sound ghosts not action enough? Why is that phone ringing? Alright, I'm back. It was the board. Okay, let's see what this is. R4 Reports Reminder. Federal Bureau of Control. Hello. As you all should know by now, the R4 reports are due by the end of the week. We're still waiting on them from a number of people. If you need an extension, please request form R4.E from your supervisor. If you think you're exempt from filing an R4, then you will need to get written permission from your department chief saying so. Remember, R4s are mandatory under Section 75.2 of the Employee Manual. If your R4 requires interdepartmental claims, then please contact the appropriate department head, Dr. Darling, Ms. Marshall, Mr. Salvador, or Mr. Kirkland, as needed. They'll be busy on Thursday in their annual policy review, so please schedule accordingly. Best, your admin team. 2 Executive Sector staff from admin. Subject R4 reports due soon. Well, yeah, you got to keep it clockwork in a place like this. You can't just have people going off willy-nilly, not filling out their R4s and fucking in other dimensions. I, to this day, don't know where to go. He's in there, right? Yeah, he's in Central Executive. Wait, hold on. I have the wrong mission up. This whole thing is just chaos. I've spent so much time talking about how I don't want to deal with this jukebox. Okay, so I guess we didn't talk to Langston about the fridge. We will do that. But first, we have to talk to Dylan, and that did not make things any easier. So I'm just going to keep looking in rooms up here until we find him. That's what I'm up to. Let me look at the chat real quick. Did you? Yeah, okay. You asked me about the PS5. Yeah, I got one. Got a PS5. I'm one of the lucky few. Although that luck may only be, I think this is it. The luck may be only temporary. Because the demand was so high, they put some cheap parts, specifically in the fans. They're cheap fans. And so a lot of PS5s are sort of like snowflakes. You'll have 2 PS5s with different fans in them. They kind of had to do this in order to meet demand. So these PlayStation 5s are not operating at peak performance, let's just say. Mine runs fine, but I can tell that some corners were cut. So when the stock becomes more accessible to a wider amount of people, they will be getting a better PS5 out of it, I think. And there he is. So that sounds like the hiss chant. So now I have my theory right now. Hold on, Dylan. Chill out for a second. You're talking over me. It's hurting me. My theory now is that Jesse has the good magical sound ghost, and Dylan has the evil magical sound ghost living in their respective heads. So that's cool. Let's go deal with that.
You are a worm through time. The thunders hum distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is me, right? Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been in there. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. You are a worm through time. The thunders hum distorts you. Happiness comes.
You hear our words, but you forget. Push your fingers through the surface of the wet. We wait in the stains. Hey Dylan, wake up.
Shit. That's Dylan. Can you hear me? Oh, come on, Dylan. I'm here. I found you.
Do you know who I am?
Oh, you know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign.
Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better.
Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be
that?
true.
Please?
Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only true. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit. Shit. He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small. In Ordinary. In the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years.
After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
Your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jessie. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for the slide projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm is...
I don't know what else I'm hoping to find here.
Dylan.
Can Dylan answer some questions?
I'd like to tell you about a dream I had last night.
Off to a good start.
Okay. I'm listening.
I was back in Ordinary, before all of this happened. But in the dream, I was alone. It was just me.
I was the only child. A girl. My name was Jesse Dylan Faden. But then the Bureau came and caught me, brought me back here, locked me up. Have you ever noticed that our names, Jesse, Dylan, they could be girls' names, boys' names, could be anything. Don't you find that weird? I find that weird.
Sure. What the hell was that? Is he trying to mess with me?
You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you.
Okay, well, that's some stuff to chew on, I guess. So the Bureau's using us. I think that's pretty obvious. Like, I don't think we need a crazy, possessed by magic sound ghost brother to tell us that. Clearly. That's McObvious. But to suggest that Polaris is using us as well, now that is an interesting wrinkle. Because we're dealing with two different magic sound ghosts. Which one is the benevolent one? You would think it's Polaris because Polaris allows you to keep yourself, while the Hiss take you over and use you essentially as a tendril to reach yet another person. But what if the Hiss's designs are short-sighted and Polaris's designs are like for the long game, you know? What if the Hiss is just like a thorn in Polaris's side? And so from our perspective, Polaris is helping us. But is she? Is she really? What do we know about magical sound ghosts? Hey, Papa Beatloaf, welcome to the stream, my man. Happy to have you here. We're going to go back to the Panopticon really quick and tie up this refrigerator situation. I think we're supposed to go to containment anyway. So that works out, but we're going to go to the Panopticon first. We forgot to tell Langstrom about what happened to Philip Filson, the best name money can buy. You prefer the Ghost of Tsushima as your entity? Don't we all? Don't we all? Oh, did we get another countermeasure or something? No, I guess not. It just wanted to play a klaxon in our ears. Sometimes the game is just like that. All right, that's the fire break. Where's the office?
Some of the security cameras aren't working. How do I get those fixed?
Maintenance staff will repair.
Whoops.
How'd it go? Where's Philip?
Philip's gone. Something happened before I could get him out.
Poor Philip. He never did like fridge duty. But if you're here, then who's watching the fridge?
The fridge is fine now. I took care of it.
You don't just take care of altered items. What did you do?
I touched it and wound up in the astral plane. This thing was in there. It was huge, had one big eye. Wasn't friendly.
We've been getting reports from the astronauts lately about something fitting that description. The astral plane is usually connected to our world through objects of power, not altered items. If this thing is linking itself to altered items, then it's clearly powerful. This may happen again.
Do you think that thing is what got Philip?
Must have been. The Panopticon is a dangerous place. The agents all know the risks. But, since you're some sort of altered item whisperer, I've got a list of others for you to corral. The Hiss are causing containment breaches left, right, and center. Here, start with these. I'll see if there are any others missing while you're gone. My life just got a whole lot easier.
I don't think you're supposed to say that out loud, my guy.
I'll see you later, Langston.
I'll be here, like always.
Alright, let's see what that's all about. So that's our main mission. Then we've got this, which we can't really deal with just yet. Actually, I think we can now. I think we can absolutely deal with this right now. But do I want to is the question. I'm not sure about that one. We're going to ignore the jukebox, and Langston has some runaways. Are they all in the Panopticon? Well, we're already here, guys. We may as well. We may as well deal with these runaways. So what is this looking like? Okay, they're in all kinds of different places. Oh boy, I bit off a big one today. So in the Panopticon itself is the traffic light. Okay. Let's find and deal with the traffic light. Where in the Panopticon? It just says the Panopticon. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this later. I don't want to right now. I changed my mind. We're gonna move forward with the story a little bit. Okay, where do we want to go for this one? Much more reasonable.
Numerous cell breaches.
Yes, I know. It's a crying shame. And we might even come across some of them as we do. Yeah, I just don't really feel like being lost for the next 20 minutes. So I think I'm just going to move forward. We will take care of it. It's not going to be like Ghost of Tsushima where I ignore most of the side quests. I'm going to do everything I can except the containment, not the containment breaches, but like the radiant. Oh, jeez. The radiant warnings. The ones that are timed. This thing is loud in my ear again. Don't know how that keeps happening. Okay. Oh, you got dudes all over the place. Oh, that actually hurts a lot? Oh, like a Mick lot. Okay, well we're just... Okay. I didn't see him. I panicked. This is like what happened in Demon Souls, where the guy invaded me and I backed up into a flaming cannonball and just died to death without him raising a hand to me. I like fell down a flight of stairs and then landed on some fire and died. The whole thing was pretty embarrassing. DKD said, I'm back. My dad-in-law was being wheeled by when I started my rant, so you turned the stream down. Sorry about that. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. Blame Jiff. It's his fault. And Papa Beatloaf, you're absolutely right. Artillery Clinton is the best name that money can buy. Artillery Clinton first, then Philip Filson, and then Badass McTwisty. In that order are the best names money can buy. I'll try to play like less of a literal dodo bird with a controller. No promises. Yeah, we're chucking missiles at me. Have you considered not doing it? I was supposed to... This is something that actually kind of annoys me about this game. I'm probably going to die again. Just putting that out there. But what really annoys me... Yeah, what really annoys me is I go to grab a thing, right? And it's happened a few times. I'm still a dodo bird with a controller. I try to grab a thing, and it doesn't grab the thing that I'm aiming at. Like, it's in the center of my screen. I'm very clearly saying, hey, game, I would like to grab this explosive ballistic thing shuttling towards my head, please. And the game is like, oh, rip something off the wall? Okay. This houseplant that's actually behind you? Sure, I'll do that. Please don't. Please don't do it. Let me pick up the missile that's about to hit me. Or the giant extraterrestrial ball that's floating towards me. Let me have that one. Alright, I'm going to deal with these missile guys first, because they're clearly a problem. Everything was going swimmingly, and then Langstrom gave me homework. And now everything is gone. to boo-boo. Alright, he's down. Ignore him for now. He's just a distraction. Is there anyone else? It might just be him now. I'm literally dying to like 3 enemies. That is hilarious. Well, let's break apart the tradition. It's pretty sturdy. Oh, did we spawn another group of friends? Is that what's happening behind me? I think it is. Oh, we've got friends. Got friends up there. Fair enough. Why didn't that hit him? Oh, whatever. Problem dealt with. Mischief managed, right? Right, guys? It's a Harry Potter reference, isn't it? I know that because I watched an epic rap battle of history about it. Smooth. This has gone very smooth. A whole bunch of guys. That didn't hit anybody. Get some allies on our team here. See you back there. Alright, let's deal with this guy now. I think it's time. Sorry, commentary took a nosedive there because I've died multiple times and I'm a bit salty about it. There we go. Okay, so where were we even going? I can go through here now. That's good news. Is there actually still a dude trying to kill me? In 2021? I forgot we had a new year. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just open up. Let's open up the security thing. Like, the war bongos are still going, but I don't see any more enemies. So it puts me in a confused place. Maybe it's because I still have a guy under my control? Is that why? Nope, it's because there's literally a dude with a rocket launcher. We have a lot to research here, like the technology that allows us to create the dumpster rifle. If I could make one of those, that would be pretty spicy. Oh, hello. Oh no, this one started a mission. Why didn't it let me read it? Mirror Supplemental. Victorian Mirror, A160-UE. Background. Redacted. She was admitted to a mental ward for emotional instability soon after relocating to Illinois with her family in 1914. The item only appears on record again in 2006 when the Bureau investigated a sudden rise in disappearances in Redacted, Illinois. Agents found the item hanging in the local library. They contained it quickly, though the missing people of the town were never recovered. Supplementary materials. Date, August 18th, 1915. We certify that the case of Mrs. Redacted has shown her to be a lunatic under the reasons of hysteria, bad company, and imaginary female trouble. Her fixation with the family looking-glass is noteworthy, though not an uncommon matter when considering the female disposition. Mrs. Carver is a fit subject for the lunatic asylum and will remain in its confines until her affliction is past. Signed, Dr. Redacted. ID Victorian Mirror AI60-UE. Acquisition date. July 15th, 2005. Containment location, Synchronicity Lab, Research Sector. I know exactly where that is. The date on this is somewhat concerning. The date's concerning because it's using terminology. Yeah, okay, date 1915. So the supplemental material is different from the acquisition of the actual item. Because hysteria, imaginary female trouble, like these are terms that were used in the 1915, like the 1910s and earlier. Basically, they basically just came up with like fake medical diagnoses for women being bored or not in line with what society's dictate of what a woman should behave like would be. So it tripped me up for a little bit there. Let me catch up with the chat. I feel like Control doesn't go in hard enough on wanting to be SCP the game. The objects just don't have the really unsettling feel as the better written SCP stories. Maybe. I mean, there's a few. If you read like the dossiers and the supplemental materials, it does. I'm sure it doesn't come close to SCP Foundation, but to me, like reading about a thing and then seeing it in the Panopticon, or reading about a thing and then encountering it doing the thing it does, it's always a really cool feeling in this game. I always really enjoy that part. Prime Candidate Program. Well, here we are, aren't we? Was there anything else in this? Oh, golly.
The Bureau needs a director. Our future. P6 and P7.
Okay. Why don't we get a more wordy version of that on the hotline?
After North Moore stepped down, I doubled every effort to find new prime candidates. There was no one. No one but me. That wasn't good enough. I pushed hard. I never wanted the Bureau to end up in that situation again. The Bureau needs a director. Always. When my time reaches an end, I want more options on the table. P1 through P5 were all false leads, dead ends, and disappointments. Then P6. Dylan Faden. He fell into our arms. No parents. They're gone. Casualties of an AWE. The boy has exceptional talent. The oldest house will be his home. We'll build him from the ground up. He'll be trained and taken care of. Darling can be in charge of this project. I can't. I'll stay away. I will not fail the boy like I failed my own family. My daughter and my wife. We weren't careful enough back then. Something came home with me. I took work home. My Susanna got sick. When I realized my mistake, I wanted to bring her here for Darling to do what he could. Kate flat out refused. Civilian doctors treated our daughter, but they didn't have a clue. She died. Kate left me. Same old story. That was a long time ago. The Bureau is all I have now. And the prime candidates are our future. There are two. P6 and P7. We're spoiled for choice.
Yikes. Trench's ascendancy to director of the Federal Bureau of Control was never clean. He wasn't a prime candidate. He was all that was available, and so the board made do. And it looks like he spent the majority of his tenure as director trying to find a replacement that could do the job properly. And unfortunately, that resulted in Dylan being treated the way he was. I think it's pretty clear that he was treated poorly. Which is interesting to think about, considering it's Professor Darling, or Dr. Darling. I don't know why I keep calling him Professor. It's Darling who is in charge of him. Darling seems like a pretty affable guy. He seems friendly, if not awkward. We've spent the majority of this playthrough thinking he is a adorable chicken nugget. But what happened to Dylan is inexcusable. Oh, do we have to explode right on top of me? It's my least favorite thing to do. I gotta run around and hope that I can find enough giblets on the ground to get myself somewhere approaching decently healthed. And there's one of those healing orbs nearby also. So that's... I gotta deal with that first. Where's the darn thing? Down here. Did I just screw myself? I might have just screwed myself. I don't know how to survive in here. Okay, I think we're alright. Just need to find that orb. Where the heck did it go? This room defies all logic. Okay, it's one less threat. But it's still... Yeah, we still need to take care of this thing. Bad orb. Okay, we're in a position of control. Roll credits once again. So let's see what we can do about this guy. There, done. Now we can try and explore this room and see what the hell is going on in here. Because it's a lot. There's a lot going on in here. So we have this side room here. There's a lot of people floating. Valis, hey, what's up, man? Pale Voyager, welcome to the year C-Lab 2021. I have no idea what I'm referencing. Internet people are dumb. I know what you're referencing. It's the best Hanna-Barbera cartoon ever made. Am I right, guys? Ha ha ha! But yeah, thank you. Happy New Year to you too, man. I hope your holidays were decent. What is this room? This room has problems. Problems I can't solve for it. I believe there's a bit of lore on the ground there. Bright Falls, AWE-35. Details. Alice Wake, Mr. Wake's wife, was found during the Bureau investigation. She was interviewed and evaluated. She showed signs of severe mental trauma in the form of redacted memory loss. I lost my line. She was later directed to treatment. It was concluded that she had been trapped in the threshold during its manifestation. Notable individuals still missing after the Bright Falls events are FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale and Dr. Emil Hartman, referred to the Creator's Dilemma and the file re. The Cauldron Lake Lodge. Bureau researchers believe this event was the result of a forceful perception of subjective reality stemming from Mr. Wake, overlapping on our own. Wake has been flagged as a potential para-utilitarian. See Prime Candidate Program file for more details. In 2011, a book by Clay Stewart titled The Alan Wake Files was published by Roundabout Press, New York and Olympia. Agents interviewed Clay Stewart and suspected minor para-utilitarian sensitivity. He was placed under indefinite surveillance. Notes. A monitoring station was established at Cauldron Lake to alert the Bureau of any further activity. Future activity. ID AWE-35. Event date September 1st, 2010 to September 14th, 2010. Event location Bright Falls, Washington. Let's see. Murphy can't get trapped under a vending machine. This is a sequel to Alan Wake? Yeah, vicariously. That is the correct word. This game contextualizes the events of Alan Wake as sort of a passing glance while telling its own story. The events of Alan Wake are of interest and concern to the Federal Bureau of Control, as the whole bureau exists to detect, contain, and cover up paranatural events going on throughout the world, if not just America. Although I think it might just be America. It's not. Oh yeah, no, it's not a spin-off or a retelling. No. So, like I said, the Federal Bureau of Control looks for paranormal activity, contains it, brings it back to the Bureau, investigates it, and of course covers it up so regular people don't think anything fishy is going on. And what happened in Alan Wake is an example of an AWE, an Altered World event. So, like I said, it is of interest to them. Lots of lore up in here. Can I get these boxes out of my damn way? How come none of my buttons work? What? Okay, so in here I just can't make any mess? That's annoying. Bright Falls Summary. Bright Falls, AWE-35. Event Summary. An unconfirmed threshold manifestation at Cauldron Lake, Washington, resulted in a fictional story written by the author Alan Wake, creating an AWE in which reality was altered to match that of the story, though only locally and for a limited time. Event response. Mr. Kirkland, head of investigations, was alerted on September 13, 2010 by ex-Bureau agent Frank Breaker, see Redacted, that an AWE event was taking place in Bright Falls, Washington. Refer to events investigated in 1970, 1976, and 1978. Breaker had received a call from Barry Wheeler, Alan Wake's literary agent, on behalf of Breaker's daughter, Sarah, who is the current sheriff of Bright Falls. A Bureau field team arrived at the site 2 days later, only to confirm that the event was over. Interviews were conducted. Refer to the 1970 redacted Thomas Zane. 1976, 1978, Odin Anderson, Tor Anderson. Alan Wake was believed to, redacted, instigator. Eyewitness reports highlight an old light switch, possibly object of power, that, redacted, missing. Wake was not found at the scene. Reports claim he dived into the lake, but no body was recovered in the search. So that mentions a lot of names. So Sarah Breaker was the basically your right-hand NPC. She was the major main character other than Alan Wake in the story. And she was the sheriff. Her father was a Bureau agent of the Federal Bureau of Control. They also mention Alan Wake's agent, Barry Wheeler, and also several of the artists staying at that sort of lodge resort in Bright Falls that Dr. Emil Hartman was basically using to lure people with magical abilities and exploit them for his own ends. And so there have been it appears there have been several AWE cases at Bright Falls involving several of the characters from Alan Wake throughout the 1970s. DKD says, knowing it was an AWE makes Alan Wake a better game. I agree. I think Control makes Alan Wake a better game retroactively. And I really love it when games do that. I don't know how many people here are very into the Tales series, like Tales of Vesperia, Tales of the Abyss, Tales of Fantasia, etc. But there is actually an instance of this in the two most recent releases. Tales of Zestiria is kind of a middling experience, all things considered. It's got some cool, little Avatar The Last Airbender mechanics where you can, fuse with your party members and become, a super party member of a specific element. But story-wise, it's kind of whatever. Then Tales of Berseria comes out. And Tales of Berseria is it's functionally a prequel to Tales of Zestiria. And through the story of Berseria, you learn what sort of makes Zestiria tick. And Berseria is a phenomenal... I think Berseria is a masterpiece. And as a masterpiece, it makes Tales of Zestiria a better game retroactively. Now, let's crap ourselves to another episode of The Threshold Kids.
I can see you're upset, Meg. Why don't you tell Uncle Mr. Bones what's wrong?
Oh, God. Why does she have an Uncle Mr. Bones?
I did bad on my clairvoyance test.
You can't ace every test, Meg. You see, everyone has different brains. Some brains can talk to each other. We call this ESP.
ESP?
Jesus.
Some brains can lift objects like a baseball. Talk about a fly ball, eh, Meg? No interruptions! So who cares if you fail your clairvoyance test? Maybe your brain can throw baseballs, or talk to dead people, or make friends blind. Once we know what your brains can do, we'll know what job to give you. And if your brains are just right, you'll get to sit in the big chair.
What if I don't want the big chair?
What if I don't want the big chair? Everyone wants the big chair, Meg! That's
Jesus.
here.
Why is he so extra?
Listen for once, or the only chair you'll get in is the one with straps.
Uncle Mr. Bones is a whole other level. Like, I don't even know what to say about this guy. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, that happened. Jesus Christ. Why is there an Uncle Mr. Bones, and why is he so crotchety? Those are my two main questions. Where is he now? What is he doing now? Holy shit. That was too much. Too damn much. Okay, no, we don't want self-reflection. I'm pressing every wrong button in sequence. Hang on a second. We're trying to get to the face of the enemy, and the game keeps saying, like, no, look at all these side quests. I'll do your side quests, but on my time, okay? On my time. Don't be switching out the side quests on me. Now I'm completely turned around. I don't know where I am. Let me read the chat. So I agree with GTF that Tales of Symphonia made Fantasia worse, retroactively. And yeah, for the reason he said. It's full of things that directly conflict with how Fantasia says things work. And I feel like it's kind of cheap. It's like a cheap little bridge that they didn't even need to make. Symphonia is a fine game on its own. It doesn't need to be tied to Fantasia. And it's kind of like the same thing with Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII. Like, Final Fantasy X sort of suggests that it takes place several thousands of years before the events of Final Fantasy VII, but still take place on the same planet, essentially, or at least in the same universe. Because in Final Fantasy X-2, there's a character named Shinra, and it's not just a coincidence. He talks about there's some sort of either supplemental data or something that suggests that he founds an electric company later on in his life, right? So that's unnecessary. We didn't need that. It's a weird thing to do. Let's see. Uncle Mr. Bones. Yeah, I'm never going to not think about Uncle Mr. Bones. Those cuts are perfect. Yeah, that was actually probably a really good episode of the Threshold Kids. Just because of the comedic timing of it is amazing. Mr. Bones was a good Sega Saturn game. I have not played any Sega Saturn games. Now you need to stream the Saturn game. Well, Valis, the torch is passed to you, my friend. There's no getting off Mr. Bones' wild ride. Who is Uncle Mr. Bones in the FBC? Yeah, who is? It might be Trench. right? It might be a stand-in for Trench because he seems pretty crotchety, and also an uncle. No interruptions. All right, so we've done all of that stuff, and let's just let's make some sausage. I have no idea. Okay,
Is this what
yeah,
Dylan wanted me to see?
probably the big room
doesn't
titled
matter.
P7
We
is
need
where I
to
want to
find that
go.
projector.
That's probably where I'm supposed to be. No interruptions. Your kids are going to be like shell shocked. I can't wait. GTF, he made a mayonnaise sausage today. And I like that his sausage videos are segregated. That the ones that are very obviously YouTube suggestions they start with the jingle YouTube suggestions, YouTube comment YouTube comment suggestions, because of how gnarly McStupid they are. Okay, so we got a new outfit, the Candidate P7 outfit. That is the jumper they would have us in if we were to have had the same upbringing as Jesse. We did get the sausage casing sausage. That's true. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's a YouTube channel called Ordinary Sausage, where a man turns everything but ordinary things into sausage, and it's quite a great channel. It really helped me. Let's just say it helped me in the last 3 months. Quite a bit. It's hilarious. And the guy sounds like Peter Griffin, and that's his actual voice, and he's just making ridiculous things into sausage. Some of my favorites are, the lobster sausage, of course, is a classic. He's made an air sausage, a water sausage, an ice sausage, a sausage casing sausage, the mayonnaise sausage. He's made an entire KFC family meal into a sausage. There's just a lot going on. And yes, as the GTF says, we morally won. We got him to make the sausage casing sausage. He said he wasn't going to do it until he was cold and dead in the ground. And by Jove, he is warm and alive and in the sunshine, and he made a sausage casing sausage. We broke him, ladies and gentlemen. We broke the man. Jesse Faden movement tracking. Subject, Jesse Faden, P7. RE, eastward movement. Cause of concern? Cause for concern. So they're tracking her. September 24th, 2019. Departs Cheyenne, Wyoming. September 24th, 2019. Arrives in Sydney. Oh, God, what is that one? Guys, I don't know. I'm not American. Is it New England? No, New England isn't a state. What is that one? Someone help. What's NE? It's Nevada. It's Nevada, right? It's Nevada. Did I get it? Nevada? Nevada. Okay. September 25th, 2019. Departs Sydney, Nevada? ? Damn it, it's not Nevada. That's NV. Nebraska. Right. There's one of those, too. You know what? I'm not even going to try. September 26th, 2019. Arrives in Des Moines, Iowa? September 30th, 2019. Departs Des Moines, Iowa? October 1st, 2019. Arrives in Chicago, Illinois. So yeah, there's just a lot of departing and arriving. Departs Chicago, South Bend, Indiana, and then they go to Cleveland, Ohio, and then to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, and then to New York, New York. I did great except Nebraska, right? As someone who learned literally nothing about America in school, I think I did okay. I think you can get off my back. So, what else? What else is in this room? I think that was it, actually. Nope, I was wrong. There's also an audio recording.
We used to play there all the time. Me and Dylan, and other kids as well. We loved it. This time, I remember, was different. We found a way in, deeper into it, like it had shifted. We went inside, and that's where we found the slide projector.
A dump is a place for lost things. Things that have been thrown away. Did you ever feel that way when you were growing up, Jesse?
What?
No. Yes, but that has nothing to do with...
Was there a slide projector at your home when you were small?
No.
Those were before your time, I suppose. But your family did look at photos together, maybe. In one form or the other?
Maybe.
When was this? Can you remember? At parties? Barbecues? How did it make you feel? Did your parents ever show pictures that embarrassed you? Was alcohol ever involved at these parties? Did your parents drink? Did that make you uncomfortable?
No. That's just stupid. Come on. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing. The slide projector...
Let me ask you this. As a child, did you ever fantasize about worlds inside pictures? Inside a painting? You know, stepping into a painting, into a hidden world, escaping and finding adventure there, away from your parents.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Maybe. I don't know.
So that makes me uncomfortable. Right. So, okay, we already did this one, right? Yeah, we did. We're not going to watch that again. So that makes me kind of uncomfortable because that's either a psychiatrist who's really bad at their job, grasping for straws to pin, this nonsensical story that Jessie's telling to something in her childhood without actually listening to what she's saying, which bothers me as a human. Like, viscerally frustrates me. Or, the alternative is that was a bureau agent acting as a psychiatrist, which honestly in some ways is worse.
I wish things had gone differently and ordinary for us. But wishing won't change things. Finding the projector will.
Because we've seen several pieces of evidence that the Bureau has been tracking her. And they somehow got a hold of that recorded session.
So much coming together in this one case. A new object of power, something we have not seen before. I mean, coming from me, that's saying something. And the boy, Dylan Faden, prime candidate 6. And the sister as well. Once we catch up with her, but the boy, so much potential. We're talking Northmore level readings here. And I don't want to invoke his name. It's completely different circumstances here. It's remarkable. There was an incident. Yes. We lost a valuable member of our team, yes. Excessive force. Dylan has so much. But he's just a kid. I'll take the blame. He needs some slack. I mean, boys will be boys. He's exceptional and under a lot of stress. Roberts got killed. It's an unfortunate accident, that's all. Marshall needs to realize this. We will make this work. We'll make this work.
Wow. Yeah. So someone has no idea how to raise a kid, but at the same time, you're dealing with a kid who, like that Twilight episode, the Twilight Zone episode, the Twilight episode, never. It was also parodied in The Simpsons, where you have like a kid who can just do whatever they want with their mind, like turn you into a Jack-in-the-Box, teleport you to the moon if they feel like, and all the adults around this kid are so afraid that, you know, there's this sort of fake love that they have to show at all times. And I imagine that's kind of what raising Dylan Faden, even in this environment, must have been like, to some degree. And plus, all of their hopes are hinging on him being the next director. So I can't criticize them too much. But the Kitty, I agree with you. The phrase "boys will be boys" is very stupid. Mostly because it just doesn't mean anything. You know, like, it's like people will be people. Yeah, they sure will. Like, what's your point? P6 Victim Autopsy. Case 45, HQ 121. Case Summary. Agent killed during Redacted, involving Redacted, codename P6. Autopsy findings. Blunt force injuries of the head and neck. Extensive trauma of the abdominal region. Lacerations and contusions of the upper and lower torso. Fracture of the spinal cord between the L1 and L2 vertebrae. Avulsion fracture of the 3rd through 10th rib, left and right. Blunt force injuries to the extremities, abrasions, lacerations and contusions of the extremities, dislocation of left and right elbow, dislocation of left and right knee. Conclusion. After examination, it was determined that the cause of death was internal bleeding that occurred when the Redacted was contorted through his Redacted. Boys will be boys, though. Like, you know, it's just, you let them go outside and they get into all kinds of trouble. Goodness me. So Dylan's kind of terrifying. Dylan Faden transcript, Federal Bureau of Control. Transcript of conversation. Subject, Dylan Faden, for review by Dr. Darling. Confidential. Note, subject was alone during this outburst. DF, 1752 hours. You again. I thought I told you to leave me alone. 1752 hours and 22 seconds. Why are you showing me this? I can't do anything. Can't you see where I am? Why don't you help me get the fuck out of here? You always show me things I can't do anything about. 1752 hours and 36 minutes. Seconds. I'm bad at numbers. Stop showing me her. I don't care anymore, and I don't care about you. You both left me here to rot. 17 hours, 52 minutes, and 46 seconds. Fuck off, you bitch. I will dig out my own brains if it means getting rid of you. I don't want you here. Get the fucking message. Subject repeated the phrase, fuck off, numerous times before being sedated at 1753. Now, I think it's safe to make the assumption, with all the data presented in front of us, that Dylan was talking to Polaris. That seems to be the case here. Also, the game switched my main mission again. Can you stop? This is the one I want. I want this one. This one right here. Can you just let me have it? I don't ask for much. Okay, so we want to go to question mark. Now, how do we get there? That's the $1 million question. How in the flip and flap do we get over there? Probably not this way. But we're going to give it a go. Game, are you sure? Yeah, it seems to have different designs for me. I know what I want. Yeah, so this is not the way. I have a suspicion of where the way is. So, don't worry. This isn't going to be like maintenance. I will get through. And I believe the way through is through P7. Also, there's something on the wall here. Did we look at this?
All the times I felt paranoid, I was right. The Bureau could have given me the answers, but they just stood by and watched me.
Yep. That's some stalking. That is some whole life stalking right there. Yipers.
They studied what happened in Ordinary here. That's the place to start looking.
And there's already hiss here. Good. Maybe Jessie was careful to a degree that they couldn't kidnap her without raising suspicion. But I don't know how that's true, because it seems like Jessie's lived by herself, and she has no next of kin, because her only next of kin is currently a prisoner in the Panopticon. So who would really notice if she were snatched up? He's on my team. I don't know why they didn't take her. That's a good point. Work chat. Dead dog. Federal Bureau of Control. I see your creepy teeth delivery and raise you a dead dog. Yeah, like a straight up deceased dog. Had a collar on it and everything. It had been rotting in that box since they packed it up. Go ahead and imagine how that smelled. So don't go whining to me. I wish I got to watch a parade of human teeth. Damn, that guy must have been reading JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Am I right? Am I right, ladies? Lots of dead dogs in that one. Yeah? Yeah. Alright, so we have an elevator. I suppose we should use the elevator. Only 50% low. Oh, Jesus. I was looking at the chat, and there was an explodey, you dirty rat, you. Alright, well, there's nothing we can do about it now.
Dylan and I were
But that
both
sucked.
prime candidates.
That really sucked.
Experiments. Very different ones, sure, but both in a cell of some sort. Am
You
I
watch Team
out of
4
the
Star's
cell
summary?
now, or is all this, the house and being the director, just another cell? Who's really in charge here?
That's a good question. All of those are very good questions because like there's like there's some time dilation going on here because Jessie shows up and becomes the director, right? With no one watching. It's just her in Trench's office. She picks up the service weapon. The board recognizes her as director, and now everyone in the Federal Bureau of Control knows that she's director as if they've known for a while. Like as if she's been serving as director for some time. So it does raise some interesting questions. There's just a whole lot of no going on in this room. And I'm only at half health because I let one of these things get me in the elevator. This is the worst elevator pitch I've ever seen. Just, how about explosions, it said to me. It didn't even give me a chance to say no. And I would have. I would have said no. Yeah, there are reports. Almost all of the enemy reports, when you encounter a new enemy, you instantly get a report in your inventory by Emily Pope, requisitioned by Jesse Faden. Like, there's no time to do that, so how is that even possible? Okay, we need to control this room. Roll credits. There was something I was going to say before I got blown up. Oh yeah, you should watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You should. The first two parts are kind of hard to watch. They're not bad. They're not great either. It's mostly just like poor pacing because there really wasn't that much source material to work from comparatively. But part 3 is watchable, and parts 4 and 5 I think are incredible. And I say part 3 is watchable. It is also good. It's just not amazing good.
Of course we are.
Which I'm sure I'm going to get some flack for.
And it's never gone away.
I'm going to catch some doo-doo for saying part 3. Oh, there's more of that fungus. I really should do something about that. I will at the beginning of the next stream. We'll deal with the fungus on Thursday. Hello? We found a hidden location. It's not too bad. Yeah, the room is just full of mold. We don't want to deal with that right now. Typewritten page supplement. Typewritten page AI83-KE. Background. The page was discovered in an instance of the Ocean View Motel and Casino that was linked to the investigation sector. The page had been pushed into the motel's corridor from under the door with the symbol of a spiral. Redacted. Appendix. Text transcribed from the item. For 10 years I've tried to write my escape, only sinking deeper. I used to know where fiction ends and reality begins. Here, they're all the same. It's a hideous trap, my every thought made real. Fear, desire. How can I ever know for sure I've escaped and not just lost in my own fantasy of it? That thought alone can drive you mad. The identifiable words in the scratched-out portion. Falls, Bright Falls, Haunting, Wake, Alan Wake, Light Switch, Ocean, Too Late, And the final sentence, you've been warned. Typewritten page A183-KE, acquisition date, August 27th, 2019. Containment location, Panopticon, floor 5, unit 6. Yeah, so we've seen that door. We have seen that door with the spiral mark on it in the Ocean View Motel. There are several doors with several symbols on them, and that is one of them. Ours is the inverted pyramid, which symbolizes the board. I can't get through here. There's mesh in the way. And one has a spiral on it. Let's spend some ability points here. When am I going to be able to take over big dudes? When do I get big dude takeover powers? All the way down here. Sees large... Oh, that's so far away, though. I don't like that. That's way too far away. Alan Wake World is spiraling out of control. Ayy! Press R3 while levitating to slam into the ground and damage nearby enemies. Don't mind if I do. Also, can we do anything about these constructs? Can we level up grip? We can't. We're still missing a few remote thoughts. But we're also missing threshold remnants in order to make the upgrade for the charge. So it appears we have all the guns, and all that's left is upgrading them. And we seem to be shy of a bunch of stuff, but I don't imagine that's going to be forever. So that's fine. Let's try out our new ability. See, there's like a little halo on the ground now. And then I kaboomy on it. That's called the Zoom Kaboom. Of course this room is going to be filled with this. Of course it is. Of course.
Maybe there's a control.
And one of those. No room is complete without one. Thank goodness. Alright, so I like shoot the fungus. Oh, it's just they're just all coming at me, huh? Okay. Cool beans, everybody. There's one of these guys about it. No. Oh, there's another one. Throw one at the other. This place needs a hysterectomy. Very nice. Very, very nice. I like that a lot. There you go. Get rid of him, too. Is this room Gucci now? Like, can I do things? I'm done running? Nope. Sure doesn't seem like it. I'm being shot at from somewhere, but where? Who? Who has the temerity to perpetrate such an act? Oh, there's guys down there. Seem to be having their own problems. Separate from me. Alright, so now I need to find a way. How do I move the turntable? I'm hoping I don't have to go down, because down there is some bullshit. And we don't want that. It's the Dinotar vibrato again? It is. You're correct. Let's see, bridge operations. It's probably through here. This is a storage room, but it has a treasure chest. Pierce zoom boost and an entropic echo. I think we needed one of those. You're still working on the name? Oh, yeah, I mean, look, if anyone knows anything about workshopping names, it's me, so I'm right there with you. I know exactly what you mean. Work chat, teeth. Oh, good, we're going to get some backstory. Federal Bureau of Control. Guess who just had to inspect an inbound delivery of like 100 teensy tiny little boxes? Me, that's who. And you know what was inside each of them? A single human tooth. Fucking gross.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks.
I'm glad that Jesse is
there's a control panel nearby.
Single-minded and task-oriented. Okay, we've opened the shortcut. Now, before we access this turntable, I'd just like to point something out. Or at least ask a question. I was a child who was raised in a household where my teeth were kept in a little box, like my milk teeth. I don't know what you call them for human children. the practice teeth, those ones. You know, and I always thought it was kind of weird. And I'm assuming the idea is like, you know, memories or whatever, but like collecting teeth and hair samples from your children is a little bit strange. Has this happened to anyone else? And what are your thoughts on this? I'd like to know. Let me know what you think about hoarding the teeth of your loved ones.
Rotate. Something's blocking it.
Something indeed. There we go. Yeah, fungus ruins everything. Practice teeth. I just sat here and called baby teeth practice teeth. But like now, there's like a little box. I could go downstairs into the living room right now. There's a little box that just has my teeth in it. And it's weird. It's a very weird situation. Am I going the correct direction? I am. Possibly. There's a huge wall in my way now, so I'm not so sure anymore. Okay, so we turned the turntable. How the tables have turntabled. We've done it. So what has that accomplished for us? Right? Because the direction I want to go is this away. So wouldn't that require that I turn the turntable again? Where was it before? Continue towards the ordinary AWE area. Right, so this seems like the way I want to go. Okay, we've got stairs. Okay, no, we're good. I just didn't explore good enough, so I'm glad I didn't try to, like, backtrack a whole zone, because that would have been hilarious and not the best. So we find ourselves in the guts of this area. There's pipes and transformers and shelves and hiss and one of these fucking things. No thank you. That would have been a sad boy. Oh god, that hurt. That hurt a lot. I'm gonna die down here. You're going to die down here. What movie is that from? Oh, okay, got it. Oh, I heard another noise. Was that it? Was that just its death knell, or you don't watch movies? I don't remember which one it was, but there's like a movie with like a creepy little kid who's just like informing everyone. Oh, it's Resident Evil, right? I think I got it. I think that was the Resident Evil movie. There's like a little, like a hologram of a little girl who like walks them through the facility and shit. I love it when my brain works. But then again, I was like really excited about Nevada and that was wrong. So who knows where we even are right now. Okay, there's a box over there. Fuck knocking. Let me in. Well, you know what? After this stream, or whenever you feel like it, nobody lives in Nevada and nobody remembers Nebraska. Same difference. Yeah, basically. Just like, you know, there's two Carolinas, there's two Dakotas, there's two Virginias. Like, you guys need to chill out. Federally owned desert. And that's where Area 51 is, and Roswell, and the Federal Bureau of Control. Got 'em. We're going to get to the bottom of this mystery. Great, more box puzzles. I'm great with these. Hopefully I don't have to fight another invisible thing. They're my least favorite thing. There's a helicopter in this room. Why did I lose my box? I had it. It was my box. But yeah, GTF, you never answered me about whether or not you know who Tim Rogers is. Because, I'm interested to know. Oh my god, well that was my fault. That really, I have no one to blame but me. If an enemy shows up now to kill me, it would be par for the course. Roswell is in New Mexico? Nah, it's just Nevada. Everything is in Nevada. In the desert. I think I came from down here. I did come from down here. I remember that flappy door panel. Not gonna fool me. I wasn't in the room for that. The game journalist? Yeah, the game journalist. Are you familiar with him? He was like the only good thing about Kotaku, and then he left Kotaku to do his own thing, Action Button Reviews, and now he makes 3+ hour long reviews. Coffee and Donuts guy? I don't believe so. No, he's like if the highest functioning autist reviewed video games. Like, and I mean that with every applicable sense of compliment that I can. Oh, that's Tim Hortons. Yeah. Tim Rogers is quite a guy. He's got 4 reviews out now. No, 5 reviews. He's reviewed the Final Fantasy VII Remake, where he said Final Fantasy VII Remake is more Final Fantasy VII than Final Fantasy VII. He also did The Last of Us, which was an okay review. He did Doom, where he said such things as, making a new game and calling it Doom isn't as Doom as making a new game and not calling it Doom. About Pac-Man, he said that Pac-Man is not the Citizen Kane of video games, but the Mona Lisa is the Pac-Man of paintings. He's also said that Pac-Man has come a long way from itself. Is that the same as Sonic 06 makes Sonic Boom look like Sonic 06? Maybe. And he's recently done a review of a game called Tokimeki Memorial, which I suppose, based on the way he describes it, is the best game Konami's ever made. They're pretentious statements, but they're intentionally pretentious. Like, it's for comedic effect. He drops the bottom line and then makes like a labyrinthine series of essays sort of explaining how you get to that. But it's really funny. I really enjoy his videos. Yep. And Koga Igarashi of oh geez, that's gonna kill me. Of Castlevania fame. Why do I keep picking up exploding things? Can we not give me exploding things for a minute? He worked on Tokimeki Memorial and repeatedly would go into the part of the Konami offices that were working on Dracula Rondo of Blood and playtest the game for them for fun. And actually his girlfriend at the time, now wife, was one of the developers for Rondo of Blood, and the two of them would talk at least once a day about Tokimeki Memorial as he was working on that. So it's safe to say that without Tokimeki Memorial, Castlevania Symphony of the Night wouldn't exist. Because after working on Tokimeki Memorial, Koga Igarashi begged Konami to send him over to Castlevania to work on, and he was given Castlevania Symphony of the Night as his first project. And he did to Castlevania Symphony of the Night for Castlevania games what he did to Tokimeki Memorial for dating simulator games at the time, which is cram them with stuff in the best ways. Okay, I think we're going this way. And all of that information I just regurgitated at you, I learned from watching Tim Rogers' Action Button review. I learned a lot more than that, but that's one of the things that I learned. He also has a dog. There's a button in there I should probably press. He also has a dog named Bibby Babbis. And Bibby Babbis is a Pomeranian. I'm a huge I'm a fan. I'm a fangirl pretty. Did I not press the button? I'm a fangirl pretty big for Tim Rogers. I did press the button. So what changed? Wait, is this a different other button? Wow. There were multiple buttons in that room.
You're listening to America Overnight, celebrating 29 years, shining a light in the shadows. Thank you for staying with us. Here's our first caller.
Hi. What I'm about to tell you, if they found out, I don't know what would happen.
If who found out, brother?
The men in the suits. They told me it was an industrial accident, but this is something else. Something nobody talks about. Ordinary.
This certainly doesn't sound very ordinary, caller.
No, not ordinary. Ordinary. It's a town. And it wasn't an industrial accident. I mean, that's what they said, but that's bullshit.
Whoa, please watch the language, caller. It may be 2 a.m., but we're still a family show.
I'm sorry. It's just, my brother lived there. They said the town was destroyed, but it wasn't. I went there. The people are gone, but the town's there. It's still there.
So the population of an entire town disappears, yet the town remains. Tell me, was the phrase, "there is no salvation," written anywhere?
I'm not sure.
The same thing happened in Brazil in 23, a village called Hor Verde. More than 600 people just up and left. The government said they were fleeing guerrilla forces, but we know the truth. A mass abduction. As predicted by my regular guest, Dr. Quincy Reagan.
Abduction? You mean aliens? That's bullshit! I know they're lying!
Now, I warned you about the language, caller. I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut you off. And good timing, too. It's time for a short break. Hang in there. America Overnight will be right back.
So we get another glimpse into the Federal Bureau of Control's fake radio show designed to attract people with stories of paranatural events. Interesting. It's kind of spooky how the host was both humoring this guy and also, basically shutting down and denying everything he was saying. Basically overwriting his truth with nonsense. So the average viewer would be like, yep, this is just another crackpot. Ordinary Summary. Ordinary, AWE-24, Event Summary. An AWE occurred in the town of Ordinary, caused by an object of power, slide projector, ID OOP-15, discovered by local children at the dump outside of town. When a specific set of slides are used in the projector, the projected images open doorways to other dimensions. Multiple slides were used by the children, resulting in the disappearance of the town's adult population. Event response. On August 30th, 2002, siblings Dylan Faden, 10 years old, CP6 materials, and Jesse Faden, 11 years old, CP7 materials, were playing at the local dump when they found a discarded slide projector, COOP-15 case file, and Darling presentations redacted for details. A team led by Director Trench and Dr. Darling arrived at the site on September 14th. The AWE had ended, but the team found that the Faden children, who led them to the slide projector and the slides, which had been burned with the exception of one. Jesse escaped when agents attempted to detain the pair. In total, 17 surviving individuals were found in the town. All of them were brought in for questioning and tests. See interviews redacted and prime candidate program files redacted. ID AWE-24, event date August 30th, 2002 to September 14th, 2002. Event location, Ordinary, Maine. I want to know what happened to the kids that were not Dylan. What happened to those 16 other kids?
There is a curious correlation.
This game is bombarding us.
Unknowable forces intruding upon our world in the form of altered world events. These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television, a supposedly haunted house. So clearly humanity affects this process. Our collective unconscious is a map of sorts. We hold the key, but we don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes through everyday life, popular culture, urban legends, but we are observing and influencing a complicated system in action. We can change the likelihood of something being a receptacle for these forces just by thinking about it. But we haven't found a method to control the outcome. And yet, there's something unique in us, in our dreams, in the conceptual reality with power, with our minds. What's the cause and what's the effect? Are we the starting point or just a necessary evil in this? A byproduct, a reflection, a projection? We'll struggle to find the answers to these hard questions, or die trying.
Indeed. So that brings up something that I found kind of interesting about all this, is the archetypal objects. These archetypal objects are usually the receptacles for objects of power or altered items. The objects and items respectively are used as receptacles for the altered effect. And an archetype, in this case, is something that's created through pop culture, or sort of like a collective unconscious thought that we all sort of share. Like when you think of like a mother, like the archetypal mother would probably be like Mother Mary, like the mother of Jesus Christ. Or, you know, like a lunchbox might be an archetypal object associated with the first day of school. So we sort of hold these objects and people as these sort of placeholder or default of a given idea, concept, or thing. And these are the sorts of objects or places that end up, as the kitty says, becoming haunted. So I know we're a bit over time at the moment, but I'm gonna keep going until I hit a control point. It's the first stream of the new year. Plus, we're getting some real interesting stuff here. Okay, it seems I haven't read either of these. So I probably shouldn't have pressed up, but let's give it a go. All right, you know what, let's try to read these in order. Ordinary AWE, Stage 1.A, Dump Witness Testimonies. The first slide was a room with dirty wallpaper and dolls on a shelf. There were a lot of dolls. DF, interview, 2002. Now, DF stands for Dylan Faden, and JF stands for Jesse Faden. The house was empty. No one lived there. We played in there a lot. It was our secret playhouse. Jesse Faden, therapy session 2010. I went to school with Neil. Some kids called him Nosebleed Neil. Note, likely Neil Hossenberg, missing. It was mean. He had asthma. Tom, note, likely Tom Barlow, missing. And his gang, Freddie, note, likely Frederick Bartwell, missing. Hugo, note, no one by this name was found in public records. Bullied him. We brought Neil to the dump to play. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. Extrapolated information. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide designated house. Now, it should be said also that they're using interviews that they had with Dylan Faden as a prisoner in the oldest house, whereas they're using therapy sessions that Jessie has had with, as far as she knows, not the Bureau of Control in her stead. Very spooky. Ordinary AWE, Stage 4.A, Town Proper. Witness testimonies. Jesse and me followed the dung monkeys to the cave. There was a lot of them. More of the kids from town had joined up. It was really scary. Jesse grabbed the projector and we ran as fast as we could. They chased us. I fell and hurt my knee. Jesse tried to help me, but the dung monkeys were coming. They were just about to get us, but then Neil showed up. Neil looked like a dog, like a melted dog, but I knew it was him. Neil said a lot of times he didn't like being a boy because Tom just beat him up. I think he liked being a dog. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. The projector wouldn't turn off, so we changed the slide to the hand. I heard her immediately. She promised to help. Jesse Faden, therapy session, 2010. Jesse said we should call her Polaris. It's because she was doing stars at school. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. Extrapolated information. Additional slide designated hand, SID-36, is verified and in Bureau possession. Unconfirmed existence of a paranatural entity designated Dog Neil, EID-19930. Man, there is something going on in the town of Ordinary. Let me tell you. The stream will come to an end once we get to the next control point, so whenever that is. We've got some hiss. Hello, boys. Was the dead dog in the box, Neil? Oh man, you might be right. It might be. What do we have here? Ordinary AWE, Stage 2. Sled Hill Cave. Witness testimonies. After what happened at school to Mrs. Chester, we started spying on Tom and saw where they took the projector. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. Tom and his troglodytes were using the Sled Hill Cave as their headquarters. That's where the projector was. They'd been using the temple slide. We called it that, but really it was a broken concrete thing, like a warehouse or a bomb shelter or something. Very dark. The Knot Mother lived there with her babies, children, I don't know. She was feeding Tom and the others her milk. They were changing into little monsters. We called them dung monkeys. Jesse Faden, therapy session, 2010. Extrapolated information. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide designated Temple. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity designated Not Mother. EID-19928. Dude! So these fucking kids, they went to one of these worlds, and in one of these worlds was a creature that fed them her milk and it changed them into creatures. That happened to Jesse and Dylan's school friends. Father Mother. It is. It's fucking Father Mother. Again. I remember that game. That's wild.
Annual evaluation of Dylan Faden, formerly P6, performed by Dr. Carla Vaughn. The questions asked here correspond to the 5th iteration of the Gunner's psychological assessment. Are you ready, Dylan? Let's begin then. In a single word, describe the world around you.
Where's Casper?
Dr. Darling is out of the building today.
He's never out. He didn't want to come, did he? He never visits, not since Roberts. Tell Darling it wasn't my fault. I couldn't control it yet, but I can now. I learned. Will you tell him?
In a single word, describe the world around you.
A prison. A cold, empty prison. Not even a poster on the wall.
What is the next number in the sequence 3, 6, 9, 12, 15?
18.
What day is it today?
How the hell would I know? It's not like you give me a calendar.
You find a rabbit in the woods. It is breathing, but not moving. You cannot see any blood. What do you do?
Leave it.
Expand on that.
It doesn't matter. The rabbit's not real. None of it's real.
What day is it today?
Do you enjoy asking people questions that can't be answered? Is this what gets you up in the morning? What you dreamed of doing as a scared, stupid little girl?
Can you describe a dog to me?
In Ordinary, we had a friend. Nosebleed Neil. And when it all went crazy, you know what I mean. Nosebleed Neil turned into a dog. Or something like a dog.
What day is it tomorrow?
Fuck off! I don't know! There is no calendar! How can I fucking know?
Dylan, calm down.
Fuck you! Fuck you and fuck Casper! Hey! Are you watching this, you old fuck? Did you send your bitch because you're too scared of me? Where is Casper?
Security, get a team in here. I need...
Yeah, but what day is it today, though?
Dylan Faden, formerly P6.
What day is it? Do you know? Like, what is the point of asking him that, right? Like, I'm not trying to be on his side. Like, yeah, she had it coming for asking a stupid question, but she kind of did. What was the point? What was the point of asking him that? It's just mean. It's just a mean thing to do to a guy. It's Father Mother's Day. Jack, do you remember what today is? Okay, so we have some unread multimedia. We'll get into it in the next one. The next stream, that is. But for now, I think we're done. I think we're good. So I'm going to leave it here. I appreciate everyone who showed up, everyone who stayed to the end. I appreciate you even more. If you like me, please follow me. I'm setting up... I have a Twitter account at @pale_Voyager. You can follow me there also. I mostly just use it to post like platinum trophies I get, and I guess maybe also announce when I'm streaming is something I'll start doing. But yeah, that's a thing. The next stream is going to be Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be continuing Iconoclasts, and we'll find out how I really feel about Final Fantasy VIII, I'm sure. Yeah, thank you for coming. Have a great Monday, and I hope to see you guys soon. That's it. Stream's over. Everybody out.